From Rovers, just the last of the handshake, shaking hands with the official, and they'll tear away towards the 1800 I should say, travelling Rovers fans behind that goal. So hold on, so 4,050 minutes of League One football for each team, but it's all come down to this one game. Sorry, the lads just laughing at me making a stat there that I've revised, but one game takes it, winner takes all. Say that, a draw will do for Rovers, but we reckon both teams are going to go for the win from the off. And there is the off as both Brentford get the game underway and fight it right out to Donaldson on the right hand side. Donaldson wins the header, Jones intercepts and heads clear from the edge of the box, and does so again as they try to get the ball in once more. Furman hoofs it downfield and long, a bit of a deflection there, and it might get a chance for Brown to get on the end of it, but instead Kevin O'Connor is back to nod back to his keeper. Simon Moore off his line to collect that, and a first early touch for the Brentford keeper. But we see there that we say that we're less than 30 seconds in here, and already Tommy Spur is down on the floor receiving treatment on that side. So Tommy Spur over at the left back, over on the far side, about midway in the Rovers half, has just gone down. He's getting a bit of treatment. I know Tommy Spur did do a very extensive warm-up ahead of this game, so could be a pre-existing condition. But he's back on his feet now. We know Rovers have got James Husband on the bench, of course, who can fill in like for like. And we'll see how that pans out as things go. So Spurs back on his feet. He's waiting to be given the acknowledgement to come back on as the referee goes and drops the ball for the Brentford keeper, which he does so, and things will get back underway. But we'll keep an eye on that. I say Tommy Spur's on him, and Donaldson has gone over to that side now, the Brentford forward, to try and perhaps put a bit of pressure on Spur, seeing that he may be suffering on the side. And it is Donaldson and Spur challenging, but Jones wins the header and heads clear. Hume plays it on first time looking for Brown, but can't release it. Ball drops, Jones comes out early to try and meet it. Brentford fans felt that he'd put a foul in there on Tom Adeyemi, but it's going to give Rovers way, and it looked like it could have gone either way. Jones perhaps a little bit too up for the game there, and going to meet that one and catching his man, or he thought so, but the referee's given the free kick the way, so it'll be a Rovers free kick, 10 yards inside the half, and McComb and Jones are standing back there in no real hurry to take it. I thought that was going to go the other way, guys. Yeah, especially with Rovers being the away team. None of them sort of tackles early on in a game of this, well, normal games of mine in this magnitude with the fans behind them, but no. The referee's decided we get a free kick, and thankfully for us we've got a chance to put one forward here. But Jones does play it long, but it's straight against the sort of shins of Chris Brown, and comes back to the Rovers end. Neil Sullivan with a big hoof downfield, his first touch of the afternoon, gets it beyond halfway. Hume's beaten in the air by Bidwell, the left full-back. comes back to Quinn, and Quinn looks for an early ball over the top towards Jones, just runs ahead of him and comes out the other side of the pillar that's obstructing my view into Simon Moore's hands, the goalkeeper. So we said Rovers playing 4-4-2 here, Brentford playing, from what I can make out at the moment, pretty much the same, with Diego Uga and Douglas in centre midfield for those two, which is completely odds in my notes, but we'll try and keep you up to date with that as things go. Rovers trying to release the ball quickly and get forward quickly, it seems, from midfield, and they've done that a couple of times now, but it's not quite paid off. And he said Brentford will clear, and Rob Jones will have to win another header over in the left back position at the moment. Does so twice, tries to get Coppinger, he can't get there, and it's kept in play, hooked into the middle. Chance here for Forrester, if he can get onto it, ball's bounced away from him, and Quinn's able to get across and hoof that clear. As Forrester just a bounce might have favoured him there and almost had a chance to get in the box, but I think Quinn always had that covered and was able to get that clear.
Yeah, whether it's good judgment from Quinn or he's got a bit lucky, he did choose not to go for the header and let it bounce, and in the end he's defended well. He's been doing an appeal for an handball, but he hasn't handballed it. He just kind of you turned his man. I think it's hit him on the chest before he's cleared, but it's just both teams struggling at the moment, as you'd expect, to really get the ball down up in the air a lot.
Rovers, we said, trying to look like they're trying to get it forward early first time, and then Brentford are trying to obviously get it, do exactly the same, but now Brentford are with it, and they'll switch it from left all the way over to right, and Chileum Logan over at right back. He's running at Coppinger. Coppinger shows him outside, but that's where Donaldson is. Donaldson tries to go around Spur, can't do so, and that'll be a Rovers throw-in about 10 or 15 yards from the corner flag over that. So Chileum Logan, you may remember, some of you, was on trial with Rovers pre-season the other season, unless I'm going
a couple of seasons ago, I remember him playing, yeah.
Thanks, Chris. I was looking for some confirmation in case I wandered down a cul-de-sac there, but yeah, Logan did. I remember him playing at Solihull Moors for Rovers pre-season, but he's at right back for Brentford today, and he's had his first touch just there trying to release Donaldson. It's not managed, and Rovers are with Hume currently in a bit of battle with Douglas on halfway, gets out of it, and Furman tries to find it. It's gone out for a throw-in right behind the dugouts on the far side from us, bang on halfway line, and it'll be a throw-in that Tommy Spur will look to take. So yeah, as we said, both teams look to be playing a pretty much a 4-4-2 at the moment, although Donaldson for Brentford, the centre forward, is playing more towards the right hand side for them, perhaps trying to put pressure on Spur and Jones, more so than the other side, but that's where he's gone at the moment. Rovers with it with Hume, it is right forward in that corner. Nice little spin on the ball from Hume to find Coppinger. Really beautifully done by Hume. Coppinger with a chance to cross with his left foot, looking for Brown in the middle, but it's flicked away by O'Connor, and now Brentford will have a chance to break if they can on this side. It's Forrester up against Lundstrom. Fantastic challenge by Lundstrom, just as Forrester thought he got away from him. Lundstrom's got back, taken off him once and then forced him out a second time. Healing for the foul there. Lundstrom to the linesman, he ain't going to get it, but he recovered perfectly to make two great challenges, just as Forrester looked to break down this left hand side, albeit inside his own half. So throw into Brentford at left back, taken by Bidwell, looking long towards Bradley Phillips, but he finds the feet of Forrester instead. Forrester tries to get round Quinn, can't, and that'll be another Brentford thrown out midway inside the Rovers half, again on the Brentford left. Chris Brown's come back to help out. He's currently chasing Jonathan Douglas around in midfield at the moment as Furman picks up Diaguaga next to him. It is Jonathan Douglas who gets it, tries to go along the line to Forrester. It's beyond him, and McCune will take the chance to clear all the way towards halfway. Hume tries to jump with O'Connor, but O'Connor wins it. And now Brentford veered Douglas and Wright Phillips tries to get it forward again. McCune's there to get a toe in and clear. Again, Brentford just hooking it back and forward, but Jones not clear. But there's a bit of chance with Forrester with a bit of space. Again, Quinn, perfectly timed challenge on the stretch to take it off his toe, and he comes out right to Hume on the right-hand side. Hume looking to turn, under pressure from Forrester, finds Quinn. Quinn tries to go down the line, but Forrester gets across him, and that'll be a throw-in to Rovers on the right-hand side. Again, midway inside the half, but bitty is how I would describe it so far. I don't know how you guys think the same, but it's scrappy. Both teams are getting stuck in here and wrestling with each other at every opportunity as Rovers look to go down the line. The ball's not on the floor much, it's not being played much, and it is a real battle out there so far.
Exactly right. I mean, that thing with Lundstrom, I think he wants a foul. It was a shoulder barge well off the ball, and it's knocked him off balance, but as you say, it's just a good old-fashioned shoulder barge. But that was just one example. I mean, it's normally 2 or 3 players going in for a challenge at once as well. Like, it's brutal at the moment.
Yeah, the ball isn't giving chance to set free in any way, shape or form. It's just Brentford who've tried to switch it once so far, but other than that, it's just up in the air and it's bouncing around as Jones heads towards Spur. Spur tries to hook it over the top of Adeyemi, and it's off Adeyemi's hand. That'll be a free kick to Rovers. In amongst all that, the franticness that's going on, Ian Hume putting himself forward for a bit of showboating over in the far corner with a sort of spin and back heel on the ball to Coppinger. You can have the confidence to do that in a game like this at this stage. As I look to my right, and Chris is just currently shaking in the commentary box, shows you just how nervous things are for us. And Hume there just doing a nice little pirouette in the ball to get Coppinger into play.
Yeah, I'll blame the cold, but yeah, that's fantastic. Fantastic little turn and pass to Coppinger, but then the nerves are really starting to set in here as well.
Yeah, just a bit of noise in the background is for Neil Sullivan taking his sweet time over a free kick, and that's what the Brentford fans are getting annoyed at. I would imagine Neil Sullivan will do that a few more times as this afternoon goes on. Free kick's not really come to anything, and Brentford have cleared their lines as O'Connor now puts it long in towards the left channel towards Forrester, tries to jump up against Quinn. Quinn reads it well, wins the header, and then just about gets away from Forrester and the turn, puts it into a bit of space where Lundstrom perhaps didn't want that, and he'll go back to Sullivan under pressure from Douglas. And right, Phillips manages to clear all the way to halfway where Bidwell can only flick it on. And now here's Brown in behind him in the right corner. Now Brown, there's no one up in the box who's the furthest man forward. Coppinger, Hume and Furman are all there now. Cotterill's pulled off to the corner. Cotterill gets it to feet, drives a shot, and it's just inches wide the far post. For a minute it looked like that was going to swing into the far corner there, but a great chance for Rovers early on. Brown into the corner, just holds it up to Cotterill on the corner of the box, shaped onto his right foot, and just as you thought he might try and cross, he's delivered a raking shot that's just swung back at the last minute and just missed that far post.
Yeah, the way he's shaped up, it just needed a bit of movement on the ball, which, if he doesn't shape like that, then I think the keeper would move and see it, but because he's shaped for a cross, he just needed it to move a little bit, but I think he's ended up being a lot closer than when he first left his foot, because I think the fans behind the Brentford goal, which is the Brentford end, just was almost like all at once gashed, and
yeah, it looked
really unlucky.
it looked like he was going to swing quite wildly well, but it just cut back off, swung it with the outside of his boot and just cut back in at the last minute, but it has gone inches wide, that post, and players restart with a Brentford goal kick, but it's come to nothing. But a first early chance then, and a good one for Rovers with a shot from Cotterill as Quinn tries to release Cotterill down the right hand side again with the ball forward. O'Connor's got across and played it inside to his keeper. Brown's put him under pressure straight away, but Moore has managed to clear his lines to halfway where Spur heads back into midfield. Bit of space for Diagaruga now to come over to Forrester on the left for Brentford. He finds Bidwell on the overlap. Bidwell tries to deliver it across, swings it behind the Rovers back line. It's a good cross actually, just swung behind the Rovers back line, but Sullivan reads it, sees it and gathers it on the edge of his 6-yard box comfortably, a lot more comfortable than I think any of us were when we first saw the cross go in there.
Yeah, and then fell over on the floor and just
milks a little bit more time again.
Slow things down. You'll just point out there as well, Cotterill made a run forward, and Ian Hume, which is probably why he's in the team as well today, covered him a good 30 or 40 yards behind his position over on the right, and that's just obviously what we're probably used to seeing all day.
Huge appeals there for a handball against McKeown as Wright Phillips tried to go past him, just bounced off his hand behind his back. It's going to be a throw into Brentford, which is what it ran out for referee Michael Oliver not seeing that as a deliberate on ball. So it'll be a throw into Brentford halfway inside the Rovers half on the left hand side, which Bidwell takes short to O'Connor. The centre back O'Connor tries to go inside, but Cotterill's closed him down early and kept it in play and hooked forward to Hume. Hume controls it on his chest just about, despite the handball shouts, and comes back to Cotterill on halfway. Just these two over on this side at the moment, but now they're fed into Lundstrom. There's space for Spur if Lundstrom get it out his feet. He does so excellently to get away from Phillips. Really neatly done from Lundstrom, and finds Spur at left back. So he'll come back to Jones. The momentum just taken out with that for Rovers, but they've found a bit of space with the ball to move it instead as they go from right to left, and McKeown plays it forward looking for Brown. Brown up against O'Connor, will win it, nods it down to Hume. Hume tries to get past Diagaruga and can't. Just managed to get round him, and it's been given as a free kick to Rovers about 2 yards outside the box. You'll have to tell me what happened there, guys, because that's right behind the pillar that is obstructing my view of that end.
Basically, Brown won the knockdown and Hume's won the ball. Thought he took a heavy touch, but he's took it past the central midfielder, and he's managed to use his pace to get past the midfielder just before, and then to the ball just before the defender, and he's just taken him out. It was a free kick, but now I can't see what's happening either.
So it's come back to me because they've placed it to the left of the pillar, so I can see. So it's a free kick to Rovers. It's about 5 yards outside the box. It's to the right hand side as we look. Cotterill's lining over it, and I think Tommy Spur is down there as well. He is Tommy Spur, yeah, I've just seen him reappear. Jonathan Douglas is standing over the ball as well as he tries to align the wall, but it is a little more than 5 yards outside the box. Cotterill would, I would imagine, fancy it, especially after his last effort, but Spur is there as well, and we'll see what happens here as he gets ready to strike it. Certainly in shooting distance. Cotterill steps over it. Spur goes there instead, tries to go over the wall. It hits the wall, straight up in the air. Spur wins the header to keep it back in the box. McKeown's up there as well. He nods down to Spur, and he's going to have to come backwards towards Cotterill, and I'll go all the way back to halfway where Quinn is, but there's still bodies forward for Rovers. And he's gone towards the far side where McKeown's up there. McKeown gets a bit of a nudge from his man and wins it all the same towards Furman. Furman, lovely little ball in towards Cotterill over on the right hand side. He'll have to hit it first time and does so. Just gets it on the byline, but can't really get any pace or height on it, unfortunately, and it rolls into the hands of Simon Moore, the Brentford keeper, and he'll get a chance to to clear his lines there. But Cotwell just stepping over that free kick and letting Spur go with the sort of left foot curler into the corner, but he's just hit the top of the wall. I think it's not quite worked out for him there. But Brentford a chance here for him. Right, Phillips with the shot, and it's off the base of the post and away. Long ball forward from the keeper, as I was talking, flicked on by Donaldson. Phillips just getting in behind, gets the shot through the legs of the defender, and it hits the face of the post and bounces straight back to McComb, who can clear. But straight away a chance at the other end for Brentford, their first real effort of the game, and it's off the base of the post, and they'll get things going again with the throw-in towards Forrester. Forrester's just the box here, looking to go left. Men left instead finds Douglas. Douglas tries to find the feet of Phillips. Rovers will get a chance to clear through McComb towards Hume. Bit of movement behind the goal because there's a flare on the field down in front of the Rovers fans at the moment. It's a yellowy green flare. Stewards are trying to remove that as the game goes on, and Rovers now have a chance to break through Hume on halfway. Inside to Furman. Furman almost robbed of it. Lundstrom wins it back, tries to go to Spur but mishits it, and now it's Adeyemi on that side. Well, it's not Adeyemi, it's Logan, sorry, who's got a chance to go forward and find Wright Phillips, who's pulled right. He hits it, hits the Rovers man, and it ricochets out, and as the noise builds, that will be a Brentford corner on their right hand side. So big moment there for Brentford, just out of nothing really from the long ball forward, and the base of the post is coming to Rovers' rescue.
Yeah, and just a reminder of, I think it's been quite a comfortable start for Rovers up till that moment. I mean, probably done more pressing themselves, but then one long ball, one head down, and luckily we're not a goal down because he's caught that really well, the striker. He's beat Sullivan, and just thankfully Rovers have got away with it. Just managed to get his toe on it and put it in. There's a bit of delay before the corner, because as I said, there's a flare just come onto the field from the Rovers end, unfortunately, and it's just been coated in a load of sand on the 6-yard box while the referee decides what to do about it with the stewards team. So a bit of a break before this corner in front of the Rovers fans. They remove the flare and the sand from behind that goal, or at least I think they will do. If you're getting a bit of feedback from us, apologies for that, because I'm getting all manner of noise in my earphones, but the fact that the guys aren't will suggest that it's just me. So if you are getting feedback, apologies for that. Just a bit of noise on the answer, but hopefully you can still. So apologies for that pause. Like I said, bit of a breather at the moment while they get rid of that sand and flare from behind the goal. So there's only be time to add it on at the end of this half as Brentford gets set to take corner. Every single Rovers man is back in the penalty area to deal with this. Brentford have sent pretty much everyone forward as well, by the keeper Simon Moore and the centre half O'Connor. One thing I will say, well in fact I won't say now, I'll wait until the corner's delivered and we'll mention it afterwards. But it's just a point I wanted to raise there. But it's about set for the corner to be taken. It's swung in with the right foot. Not as Furman managed to head clear at the near post and get all the way out towards O'Connor, who's back in the centre circle. O'Connor tries to go back out towards the corner, take a Forrester. Jones is over there to beat two of them in the air and head it clear out to Hume over on the left hand side. Hume to Furman. Cannons off Furman, not to be a Brentford throw-in over on the right hand side. So Brentford throw-in level with the edge of the Rovers box on their right. As Furman clears it out and it's thrown in towards Phillips. Right, Phillips goes down very, very easily. Huge appeals for a free kick on the corner of the box, but as the ball bounces around on the roof of the stand opposite, the referee just shakes his head and we'll restart with a Brentford throw-in on the right instead. Again, midway inside the half, it's Brentford throw. I can't see who's throwing it at the moment. I think it's Logan who goes down the line, flicked on, and Adeyemi's gone onto it. He won't get onto it in the end, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Rovers on that side. So a bit of respite again. The point I was going to make, before the corner, and something I noticed was as Brentford broke, and as they have broken a couple of times, when it's broken down for them, suddenly Rovers look like they've got men and numbers to break forward. There's a couple of chances there. If they'd just moved it a little quicker out of feet or found the right pass over to fullback, they'd have been able to do so. Yeah, sorry, I've just got really bad feedback because you asked me that question, so I missed part of it. But yeah, I think that's going to be the idea, is just break as quick as we can. But obviously it's got to be effective as well. It's all right just clearing long, but it's about getting bodies up there. The one time we did it with Brown earlier on, where we had no one to pass to, I think it's got to be a little bit better than that. But it does look like we are trying to get at least 2 or 3 up every time we break forward. It's Brentford there breaking at the moment through Forrester down the left hand side. Quinn's seeing him all the way. Forrester tries to get better, and Quinn gets a challenge in. And as he tries a second cross, McComb's across as well, and Rovers managed to clear that without conceding the corner, which looked odds on. Cotwell into Lundstrom. Lundstrom goes to the feet of Brown on halfway, over on the right-hand touchline. Brown looks inside, and he goes to the feet of Hume. Hume in the centre circle tried to play it first time when he perhaps didn't need to try and release Coppinger. Well, Coppinger's put the pressure on, and Moore's had to come out of his goal, and shanky clearance over towards the far side for the Rovers, throwing on the Rovers left. So Hume there, he had a bit more time than he realised, and could have held that up a bit. Instead went to go first time, try and get Coppinger in on the overlap. Coppinger wasn't quite ready, but it'll be a Rovers throw-in on the left, which Spur has gone forward to take. Jones has gone up for it. It's about 5 yards outside the box over on that side. So Rob Jones has gone forward, McComb hasn't. Lundstrom just sitting in for Spur and Jones at the moment backwards. But Spur will look to throw long.
Jones is on the near post. Brown is in there as you would expect. Cotterill and Furman hang on the edge of the box, but the rest of them, bar the three I mentioned, are in the box. Spur does throw it long, not quite long enough for Brown, I don't think, and instead it's cleared, and a free kick is given against Brown as he tries to find space amongst the two Brentford players that are marking him. So it'll be a free kick to Brentford to regain just about 10 yards outside their goal. And so we're just feeling a lot of feedback on the mic and everything here, so hopefully you're not picking that up where you listen at home. If you are, let us know, and we'll try and rectify it as much as we can at half time. So 20 minutes in here at Brentford, and I'll say we'll probably have a bit of stoppage, I would think, for the getting rid of the flare from that goal mouth a minute ago. But again, Brentford with a long kick downfield from almost reaching the edge of the Rovers box from that free kick inside his area. But it's headed clear by McComb and bounced around midfield. Now Brentford have got a chance to set again, but instead Bidwell goes all the way back to Moore, the keeper. Hume puts him under pressure, but Moore's kick is good and long and towards Wright Phillips, but again McComb wins the header and gets it headed away to Adeyemi. Just a little back heel from Donaldson to release Wright Phillips there and get a shot in, but again McComb was across, effectively slid in front of him, managed to get the block in and take all the weight off that shot and let it run through to Sullivan's pick up. But McComb at the moment is proving quite valuable to Rovers back there.
Yeah, really good as well. He's on Jones' side as well, as Jones had obviously gone for the first header, so he was covering his centre half as well, and he's just had to show a bit of pace, which obviously he's not used to probably showing, and just to get across there in time and in the end not even concede a corner.
Yeah, he's done well there, McKinnon. He's done that twice actually in the last few minutes. He's cut across to close down as the ball is put long back towards Neil Sullivan. Sullivan with the ball at his feet is in absolutely no rush to get things moving again as he sort of dribbles across his goal. Eventually Wright Phillips comes out of the pack to close him down. Sullivan waits, gathers, and will now look to go long as the Rovers drift over towards their left. Sullivan's kick is into midway into the Brentford half where Chris Brown is under it. Brown trying to win it, is beaten by his centre half number Dean, and it's flicked on, and now Brown's back with it in the corner on the left hand side. Keeps it in play, just about. Tries to get past Logan but finds Coppinger. Coppinger's with him. Coppinger's trying to find space for a cross. It's flicked off a Brentford man and almost out for the corner, but just kept in play by Moore, the goalkeeper, getting out of his goal over to his right to keep that in play, and he'll restart play with the ball from his hands. So as you said before, Rovers, I think Brown has got when he sits on O'Connor of the two centre halves, he's got a bit more space there to get in touch. Brown carrying it forward on the left hand side. Here's Coppinger over on the far touchline as the whistle goes for a free kick to Rovers on that far side. We might be having trouble broadcasting at the moment. Hopefully you can still hear us, but we'll keep talking and we'll just try and keep calling back in as and when. So as I say, just might have had a bit of trouble with the commentary there, so apologies if you lost us for a few seconds, but we're back with you now. We'll keep talking all the way through and just deal with those problems as it is. As you join us for a Rovers free kick on the left hand side, Cotterill's still over it trying to swing it in. McComb's gone up, Jones as well. Cotterill does swing, it's towards the feet of Brown. Brown's got space to hold up, tries to lay off for Furman on the edge of the box, but Brentford get men out to block and clear, and it'll come all the way back to halfway where Cotterill is hit hard by Donaldson, but referees let play go on. Brentford break through, long ball out to Forrester on the left. Forrester will keep this in play, try and run at Quinn. Rovers have got men back now. Forrester's cross is long and high, and it's far too long in the end and over the head of Donaldson and out for a goal kick. So apologies if you did lose us a few seconds ago on the connection, but we do believe we're back with you now, and we'll keep tabs now. I think we just lost you out for a minute or two there, so if that happens again, do let us know on the Twitter and we can try and rectify it as quick as we can. As far as we know, until that thing happens, we're still broadcasting and we'll keep talking to you as best we can. So apologies there if you did lose us. You're back with us now. It's still 0-0. You've not missed anything important, don't worry about that, and stay with us now until the end of the game as Rovers restart with a goal kick. Brown again winning the flick on towards Hume, but it's intercepted by Logan, who gets across, and then Bidwell, the left back, will have the chance to clear, which he does so towards halfway. Wright Phillips wins the header on towards Donaldson, headed clear, and it's over to Logan again on that far side. Coppinger's up against him, but Logan will come back inside to Dean, this fella centre half, and now Dean will look to go all the way over to this side, which he does so to find Forrester midway inside the Rovers half on the Brentford left. Bidwell's run outside him with support, but Forrester tries to deliver the cross first time. Lundstrom is back to get a telling touch and stop that reaching Wright Phillips as Forrester tries again to go past Quinn unsuccessfully, but he does get a corner off Cotterill, much to Cotterill's dismay there, and that'll be a corner to Brentford from the Brentford left. Rovers pull every single man back into the box, or they will do when Hume gets there, and Brentford have pushed everyone forward by the goalkeeper and Kevin O'Connor, who sits in the centre circle. Corner's delivered in towards the 6-yard box. Sullivan just stands his ground, stands clear and reaches over the top of Wright Phillips to take it off his head, and he'll have a chance to restart things as Rovers players trot forward back into position.
Yeah, Sullivan just slowed everything down there. The way he caught that ball was as if it wasn't just being whipped in at such pace, but does really well actually with someone underneath him just to keep hold of it.
So Sullivan's kick is long, looking towards Brown, head back short from Bidwell. He tried to nod back to the keeper. The keeper had already come, and in the end he's done well to get a hand on that board and stop it going past him into the unguarded goal. So Brentford have just about dealt with that almost self-imposed threat, and Rovers are back in their own half where McComb tries to find space of Sullivan, and Sullivan's long kick is towards Brown again, but Dean will win it and head forward. Right, Phillips is in offside position, so he won't chase, and instead there's time for Quinn to get onto it and nod back to Neil Sullivan, who again will take his time about getting the ball back in his hands. But Rovers looking for Brown, and Brown, I notice up there, he's trying to stay on Kevin O'Connor where he can of the two centre halves, because he has got a bit of a height advantage there. Dean looks good in the air, but Brown is trying to get himself against O'Connor and against the full-backs to try and win it. Having said that, he's just won a header against Dean, as I say that, to nod down, but it's not quite come to anything. Long ball forward now, trying to release Donaldson. Donaldson tries to go round Jones a long way, and Brentford appealing for the foul. It's not been given, but they're signalling for a foul here because Jones is down and he looks really hurt at the moment from Donaldson and Jones coming together. Sullivan's signalling to get the ball out of play. They do so. Brentford want a free kick. They feel that Jones has checked Donaldson as he's run onto it. It's just the two of them chasing that forward. I think Jones just went off his line and Donaldson's tried to go round him, but it's Jones that's come off worse, and he's now lying on the edge of the box holding his right leg and getting treatment at the moment. The Brentford fans, as we say, feel there should be something done with that, and Paul Quinn's just come over for a drink on this near side and he's getting all manner of abuse from the Brentford fans nearby while he just enjoys a bit of a sip of water in front of them. But it is going to be a throw-in when things regain, but it's Jones who's down the line. He did look in quite severe pain, but I think he's going to be all right now as we look.
Yeah, I think the problem is he has kind of come across and been a little bit naughty and stopping the run of Donaldson, but it's just what we see every week, and certainly Donaldson wasn't going to get the ball, I don't think. I think he's just ensuring he doesn't. So
yeah, I would say it's an unnecessary risk from Jones. That would be my view, and if he has stepped across him, but we shall see. At the moment, as I say, they're getting better. Quinn is just looking to get back into position. He's been stood down here taking a drink of water, and while about 300 or more Brentford fans surround him and goad him from this near side, Quinn completely unmoved, ever the professional, trots back into position, and play will start with a Brentford throw, I think, unless it is a drop ball. And I think the referee's given a drop ball, having deemed that he must have blown his whistle before Spur put it out. This will be a drop ball. Jones is on his feet, and Jones is indestructible as the song goes, and he's getting ready to come back on, as Chris Brown also gets treatment at the moment as from the drop ball. Donaldson hoofs that high and behind. Rovers briefly down to 9 men there because Chris Brown's getting treatment for a head injury over on the far side. Jones has come back on, so Rovers are now back up to 10. But at the moment, Brown is out of play over on in the 6-yard box as Sullivan agonises over which side to take his goal kick, much to the annoyance of the Brentford fans here. Mike Oliver waves his whistle at Sullivan, taps his wrist, and Sullivan gets things back and moving. He's playing towards Hume. Brown's still waiting to come back on at the moment. He's still in the 6-yard box waiting for the signal for Michael Oliver to come back in. So Rovers with 10 at the moment as Brentford come forward again, but again Lundstrom is back well in midfield to break things up, get a toe in, and Jones goes back to Sullivan, who can clear towards halfway as Chris Brown trots back onto the field and up there as Hume gives chase to Brentford. But it's still with Brentford as Bidwell tries to find Wright Phillips on the overlap. Quinn sees it, takes a touch, it's not a good one, so his second touch is a hoof high into the Brentford fans who've been cheering his first one. And he takes his position back in there with Cotswold coming back to help him out. But it'll be a Brentford throw-in about 15 yards from the corner flag on the Brentford left inside Rovers half. It goes short to Wright Phillips, who come this side. Back heel from Bidwell back in towards Wright Phillips, trying to play Forrester. Forrester wasn't looking, and McComb will get a chance to clear. Dean there just winning the clearance and just leaving his boot a little bit on Brown. The Jews, you can hear him in the background, and they felt that there was a push in the back from Quinn on his man there, but nothing given from Michael Oliver, who just shakes his head and trots away again. And Brentford come again from deep with Dean. It is with a long ball over the top of Forrester. Bidwell was looking to run onto it, but he was never going to get there in time. The left back, and that'll be a throw into Rovers on this right hand side. But from Rovers having looked the better team early on, it's been mainly Brentford for the last 5 minutes or so when plays got underway. Yeah,
they've started pushing, and I mean the crowd it's hostile, isn't it, for Rovers at the moment, even if it's not they're not really getting behind the team, they're more getting at Rovers, the fans, and I don't know if they'll play into the fans, but as you say, Brentford are starting to starting to control a lot of the game at the moment.
Just exchanged 3 or 4 passes on halfway, Brentford, to get out of trouble in the left-hand side and move it down that wing with Bidwell and Forrester. Bidwell goes back to Forrester, just about chests it in play. Douglas inside of him. He has it now, looking to go past Furman. Does so to Forrester. Forrester comes inside. Lundstrom clears, just gets a tap from Forrester, and that'll be a free kick to Rovers. The Brentford fans around us, it is safe to say, are not that enamoured by Michael Oliver's performance as referee so far, but that certainly was a touch on Lundstrom there, and it will be a free kick. He hasn't tried to get a player book, he's just gone down, picked himself up and got back on with things, and that'll be a free kick to Sullivan, as Michael Oliver tells Sullivan to perhaps get on with things a little quicker going forward. But as Danny says, that the Brentford fans behind the goal over to the right are certainly in loud voice. I have been and making things, but the Brentford fans in this end seem to be more focused on winding Paul Quinn up so far, as Sullivan's free kick is nodded out to Cotterill on the right by Brown. Cotterill with a chance to cross, does wing in towards a near post. It's O'Connor had to get across and get a toe in to clear as Rovers have men approaching it, but it'll be a Rovers throw now on the right with Cotterill, level with the edge of the penalty area. Cotterill's going to leave that for Quinn. Referee's telling Quinn to get on with things again. Bear in mind it's 0-0, we're less than half an hour in, and I wouldn't say that Rovers are deliberately wasting time in that instance, but the referee is making it known, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a booking picked up for time wasting at some point in this game. Quinn throws to Furman on the edge of the box. He tries to turn his head to Coppinger, but it's overhit, and now Douglas will have a chance to come away with it for Brentford towards Donaldson. Donaldson's just trying to hold play up. Rovers have smothered him out, but again it's fallen towards Brentford, and Dean at right back tries to go long. Jones underneath it, wins one header, wins a second header and heads it back out of play despite Coppinger's best efforts to keep it in, and it'll be a Brentford throw in about 30 yards from the corner flag on their right hand side in Rovers half. So Brentford with the throw. I think it's Logan over that side who will take it, looks towards Phillips. Coppinger's got a crossing in front of him and clears, but only as far as Diaraga in the midfield. He comes in towards Douglas. Douglas is snuffed out by Lundstrom, who's there again to put a telling toe in and put the pressure on, and instead Brentford have had to hook higher over the top towards Adeyemi, chasing into right corner, but it's Spur this time who gets across and hooks clear. Douglas trying to go back in there, but Adeyemi is offside, in an offside position, and he won't get on the end of that as Sullivan lets it run out for the goal kick. Shape to try and keep that in play, I think, Sullivan, and then I think has played on the 43 years of age element to clumsily miss it and get things realigned for a goal kick. As he does so, puts the ball down. Michael Oliver is just having a quick word with Rob Jones there, I think, suggesting that there's time wasting going on, but Sullivan has put the ball down, and he'll get ready to deliver this kick long. Rovers fans in full voice behind that goal at the moment as he does so, as Sullivan kicks away from them, looking again towards Brown, who's up with Dean this time. Brown gets in position well, sets his feet and flicks on, but Hume had gone the other way, and Brentford will clear. They'll go only long, and Rovers will have a chance to recycle it as Brown put Diaruga and Logan under and Adeyemi in pressure under there, and Coppinger hooks it out right, looking for Cotterill, but Cotterill wasn't quite ready for that, and Bidwell will clear from the left back position for Brentford. McCune wins the header, gets it back towards those two. Bidwell up again, just beats Cotterill in the air and finds Douglas. Douglas can't keep that in play, and that'll be a Rovers throw in on halfway, which Paul Quinn will take. Quinn just ducking under that. The ball was thrown back to him by a Brentford fan, and Quinn just sort of ducked under it and then has taken it, and Michael Oliver's blown his whistle and come over for the chat. He's pulled over Rob Jones, and they'll have a chat that I would say is wasting drastically more time than Paul Quinn's initial misdemeanour here, so I think that it's I don't think that quite pans out really as they would have hoped.
No, and if you go back to a moment ago and you said the Brentford fans are trying to hand Paul Quinn up, well I think he might be winning that battle at the moment anyway, because I don't think he's bothered one little bit at the moment, is he?
I would say Paul Quinn perhaps currently winning the battle against the Brentford main stand at this side. Quinn's throwing towards Brown. Brown, a free kick given against Brown for a nudge in the back of Bidwell, and that'll be a free kick to Brentford about 10 or 15 yards outside their penalty area, which the goalkeeper Moore will come across to take. So, what are we on the time? I'd say about half an hour of actual play gone here at Brentford. Still Brentford 0, Rovers 0. Rovers came close on about 8 minutes with Cotterill just flashing a shot just millimetres wide of the far post. Brentford coming even closer with Wright Phillips, who's managed to get in behind. His shot came back off the base of Sullivan's left post for Brentford. As the long ball forward, he goes all the way through to Sullivan to clear. So chances for either team. They're perhaps the only two real key chances for either side at the moment. It's been scrappy, it's been physical, it's been bitty in there, and the ball is bouncing around quite a lot of midfield for both sides. But Rovers, as we say, battling hard at the moment as Cotterill hooks the ball forward looking for Hume to run to. Hume will put pressure on Logan to deal with this over on the right side. Does so, and it stays up in play for Coppinger. Coppinger gets onto it now. Comes inside Logan. Tries to get around Adeyemi, but Adeyemi does well to get back and just get a toe on it and take it off him. And will now come away to the left where Bidwell is. Bidwell out to Forrester. Forrester on this side, coming down the left-hand flank for Brentford. To Bidwell on the overlap. Bidwell's got a chance to try and cross, tries to do so, and Lundstrom can't get the cross in, and Lundstrom blocks it, so it'll be a throw in to Brentford on that side. Bidwell will take the throw in when he gets opportunity to. Forrester's over there, Douglas has offered some support, Diaruga's over towards that side as well now. Bidwell still delaying over the throw in, it's about 6-7 yards from the corner flag on the left. Comes short to the feet of right Phillips. Phillips with a chance to cross straight towards Jones, and Jones just about deals with it with his left foot and hooks it over towards the right. Here's Furman just meeting the ball on the edge of the box, and then Coppinger will clear towards Cotterill. Cotterill with space to run, and there's only Hume ahead of him, and he'll go towards Coppinger on the left. Coppinger will have to go down the channel, and does so, where Hume will put Dean under pressure over on the right back position for Brentford. Hume just about getting to that actually, but it didn't quite fall for him, and Dean had the chance to set and clear, and instead it's at the feet of Lundstrom in field. Lundstrom just beaten to it by Diaruga. Some fierce challenges flying in from Diaruga, Furman and Douglas, but it's come away from Brentford as McComb just catches Donaldson. The referee has blown the whistle despite the ball coming over to Foster. I think we could see the first yellow card of the afternoon here as McComb came out early to try and meet Donaldson on the ball there, and it just caught him. Both players with a foot in the air, and I think if you're going to give a foul once there is a foul, it's inevitably going to be a yellow card in that position, and that's what McComb has got.
Yeah, whoever wins the ball there is probably going to get quite a challenge as well, which is exactly what happens, and as you say, cost both feet are up. Free kick is given, yellow card's given, sorry, but just before that, tackle with Lundstrom, and I can't remember who it was for Brentford, but
it was Diaruga just coming in there, just seemed to be quite forceful, yeah.
But fair play to them both. None of them tried playing it. None of them tried feigning any injury, and they both tried playing the ball and went in hard, and that's what you get at to think if you're both going in the same.
So free kick to Brentford in the centre circle. Bidwell looks in towards his centre half. Dean, who's gone up there, Dean wins the header. Sullivan is confident that it's going wide of his right on post, a lot more confident than I admit I was, or most of the support was as well. But Sullivan gets the ball back and gets ready to take this goal kick. Just Michael Oliver's standing on the edge of the box lurking. You get the feeling that Michael Oliver's decided that he is going to book Neil Sullivan for time wasting at some point this afternoon.
Eventually he will do, yeah.
It is now just a matter of as and when that happens, I think. But it is Sullivan who's getting set to take the goal kick and has put it down. And we'll look towards Brown again, who's up there. Brown challenging with Diaruga and Dean this time. Dean is who comes over the top of him to win it. Rovers hook it forward, but again it's clear by Brentford, and they clear the lines again. McComb wins the header. Diaruga trying to get it down and play, but he's only got it to the feet of Spur. Spur, who's got Coppinger and Hume down that side, tries to find Hume, but it's cleared by Logan. And Brentford just having the better of things at the moment as Lundstrom wins another midfield battle in there, but can't get it beyond Diaruga, who comes out to Bidwell at left back. Crossing halfway, then he tries to get the ball to Forrester down that side, but it's swung out of play. The ball's thrown back to Quinn. Quinn gets it in his hands. It's quite funny at the moment. Quinn's trying to get the ball back from the fans. The fans are throwing it back extra hard. It's bounced off his hands, and all the fans are trying to appeal for the booking for time wasting on Quinn. It isn't going to happen. The free kick's gone, the throw-in's been taken, and there's been a foul given on halfway against Furman, just catching Adeyemi bang on the halfway line. So it'll be a free kick to Brentford when things restart. So here's free kick to Brentford. They've not sent the centre halves forward this time. Just trying to actually debating over who's going to take it at the moment. It's Bidwell who comes across to take it. And so they're not sending the centre halves forward. Chris Brown and Hume have stayed up then as a result. Furman just picking up Adeyemi as he trots forward, but there's only the front two in the back, so Bidwell goes short to O'Connor, much to the annoyance of the Brentford fans around us. Here's Diaruga out to Bidwell on the left, tries to find Forrester. Quinn reads it and clears, but again Diaruga is across to get a foot in, and Rovers have to deal with it and clear again via McComb. And then Brown just trying to hold it up, gets a nudge in the back from O'Connor, and that'll be a free kick to Rovers, again much to the annoyance of the fans around us. That's what the Brentford fans are whinging at the moment, because Brown's taking his time getting up, but he did get a bit of a whack there, so you can understand that. But I think if anyone's going to get a Rovers player booked for time waste after, it's going to be this Brentford crowd, because they ain't giving any time Rovers take more than a minute and a second to get things moving again. You can hear the boos and jeers and whistles around us here in this main stand. Well, McComb will take the free kick. Jones and McComb have stayed back though. McComb goes long towards Brown on the far side. Brown isn't going to win that. It just hangs outside the box, and Brentford will have a chance to clear towards right Phillips. Jones wins the header on halfway. Lundstrom can't get the flick on, and Diaruga tries to get it out to Logan going on the right hand side. He can't get beyond Spur though, and it comes back to him and forward once again towards Donaldson, up against Jones over on the right hand side for Brentford. Comes back to Logan. He comes inside to Diaruga. There's a bit of space now for him to come left, which he does so to Bidwell. He subs a left back, and he's got Forrester in front of him in some space on the touchline. Now here's Forrester with a chance to run towards Quinn. Just sort of inside the mark of the penalty area, and that'll be a Brentford throw as Cotterill gets back and takes it off his toe. So throwing to Brentford about 5 or 6 yards from the touchline, which Bidwell will come across and take. and he's taken it short for Forrester. Forrester wasn't quite ready for that, and Quinn's been able to hook that clear down the right hand side where Douglas puts onto it, and Hume and Lundstrom between them, putting under pressure. Lundstrom gets his challenge all wrong and tries to pull out of it, but he's clipped Douglas. I think the referee's realised that. Oh, now he's changed his mind and he has put Lundstrom. Looked for a minute like he wasn't going to, but he's decided to put Lundstrom after all, and that'll be a free kick to Brentford about 10 yards inside the half.
I got worried then because I thought he caught him quite high up on the leg, on the shin there, so I worried at first, but he's done well, the referee. He just took a few seconds, didn't he, just to think about what he was going to do, and decided it was worthy of a yellow card. Yeah,
Lundstrom just came across. Hume and Lundstrom have both put pressure on Douglas then on this side. Douglas turned away from Hume. Lundstrom tried to reset himself to put a challenge in on Douglas. Got it all wrong. I don't think there was any malicious in there. He just got it all wrong. He didn't actually look like he was trying to pull out of it, but still brought him down. And the referee's given him the yellow card. So 2 Rovers players on a booking then, as we get to sort of 5 or 6 minutes to go before the half time. Still 0-0 here, which we have to say would do Rovers at the moment. We won't want them to sit through this for the next 45 minutes. But McComb and Lundstrom then on a booking for Rovers. No one in the referee's book for Brentford yet, and Brentford have probably shaded things for the last 10 or 15 minutes. But chances do remain few and far between here. Just the one key chance for either side so far as Brentford come again. Here's Bidwell, the left back, goes back inside to Douglas. He'll probably come back to the full back and does so. He's going to have to go all the way back though to Moore, because Cotterill and Hume had put pressure on and closed off the options for him, and now Simon Moore, the goalkeeper, will go long. His kick is towards Donaldson, who's up against McComb. McComb just sees it onto his head and heads clear, only as far as the midfield where had played out to Forrester on the left again. Forrester with a chance to swing the cross, and it's a decent cross, but it's always swinging away. Spur did well actually tracking back there. Spur, he was the man picking anyone up in there with Adeyemi coming with him, but Spur had just done enough to see it, watch it, realise it's going to go through to Sullivan and let the ball float into Sullivan's hands. Sullivan's kick forward goes over towards the left where Coppinger was, but he just pulled away from that side at that time, and now Brentford will again come again, or they would have done had Donaldson been able to bring it under control, but his touch is poor, and Rovers got a chance to go again now where Coppinger has it just inside the Brentford half on the left, feeds Spur. Spur tries to go towards the feet of Hume and Brown, can't find either of them. It's off the defender, and it's nodded back to Simon Moore in the Brentford goal, but I thought it was, sorry, behind a pillar, and he actually turned around and come away with the ball, unbeknown to me. And now it is back with Moore, the keeper, and he'll have a chance to set himself. But Rovers, as we say, started brightly, started keenly getting things forward, but for the most part, for the last 10 or 15 minutes, certainly, most of the play has been in Rovers' half. Yeah,
Rovers just don't seem, when they've got the ball, to be able to do much with it at the moment, and it's a little bit worrying, but I suppose at the same time we are to go into half time, so anything out there that might not quite be working, if we can just get through the next 5 minutes or so at least, that can be sorted out. But as you say, Brentford, without really creating an awful amount of chances bar that hit the post, they're certainly coming at Rovers.
Yeah, so the play's been playing in this half, as we say at the moment, as Rovers, I haven't said that, Rovers are on the attack at the moment with Furman, who's just about running off Dean. I thought he had, but he's been given for not to have his handball or a shove there. It's one of the two. It's going to be some free kick to Brentford on the corner of their own box. I think with Rovers, what they're trying to do is just get the ball forwards quickly and do any football, any playing that needs to be done, is to get it played up and near the Brentford end and limit the concern for them. I think that's what Rovers are trying to do at the moment. That's how I read it. But we shall see. But as Danny says, perhaps struggling to get the ball under control once they do get it there.
Yeah, and as I say, I don't necessarily think it is let's just get a draw. I just think they're thinking we're not doing great with the ball at the minute, so let's just get through to half time and come again in the second half perhaps.
As Brentford trying to attack down the left, here's Bidwell under pressure from Lundstrom, who just holds back, realising he's on a yellow card and doesn't quite commit himself as fully as he might have done 10 minutes ago. It's gone out of play there. It's going to be a throw into to Brentford on this left hand side, which Bidwell will take, and it's level with the edge of the Rovers box, just waiting for a bit of movement. He's only going to throw it short. Comes to Douglas in the end, who flicks on towards Wright Phillips. Rovers appeal for offside, and he is offside, so that'll be a free kick to Rovers on this right hand side near the touchline, about 5 or 6 yards away from the byline over there. I think we're closing half time, as I say, probably a few more minutes extra. Actually, I'm just finally 40 minutes in, able to find a clock in the ground that is telling me the time. So 40 minutes played is what the clock on the far side says in the far corner. Whether that includes injury time that we've had or not, I don't know. Brown was off, say Rob Jones was down for a short while, and we had a couple of minutes to deal with the flare that come on from the Rovers end. But it is still 0-0 here at Griffin Park at the moment. As we say, that would do Rovers, but Rovers don't seem to look like a team that's playing for the draw at the moment, apart from when the ball is out of play. And say the two key chances, one for either team. Cotterill flashing a shot just inches wide of the Brentford post, and Brentford hitting the base of Sullivan's left-hand post through Wright Phillips early on. But beyond that, key chances have been few and far between, but there might be one here as Brentford break across halfway through Adeyemi. He chips out towards Logan on the overlap, the right back. Logan not going forward, goes back to Dean, the centre half. Dean's got a bit of space to come forward, tries to go in midfield. It's well read by Furman, and Furman gets a key toe in to take it away and knock it out to Cotterill. Cotterill carries it. He's got Spur at left back going forward, and Spur will get it to his feet on halfway. Just keeps it in, Spur, and looks forward towards Lundstram. Some space for Lundstram here as he runs onto it. Comes inside to Hume. Hume tries to turn away from Douglas, and almost does so, but Douglas gets back to him and takes off his toe. And now Brentford have a chance to come away down the left-hand side through Forrester. His ball is poor, straight to the feet of Queen. Queen comes inside to Cotterill. He's caught very late by Forrester there, but the referee's just waved that away. And you feel there perhaps should have been a foul on that one at least, or at least talking to after the ball's gone. Michael Oliver's deciding that there's nothing wrong with it. Has a few words with Forrester, but nothing going. I would have thought that was seemed to run straight at him deliberately there for us, because it was right in front of us here in the press box. But Michael Oliver, the referee, deems nothing with it.
Yeah, he's just having a word with both players now, isn't he? I mean, not sure what Quinn's done wrong there, other than asking why he did not stop play. But as you say, I think he's not gone to hurt Quinn. He's just gone to just get him off the ball. You know, with a kind of ran into him, if anything. And the referee just probably got to keep an eye on that, because Quinn might want to run into him again, to say the least, in a moment or two. But hopefully he'll keep his head.
The Rovers just trying to play forward towards Brown, just come over to the right hand side, but he can't quite get the flick on, and now Brentford will come away from centre half. Dean putting a long ball forward, but McComb's read it and headed clear. In fact, McComb's head has gone longer than Dean's initial ball. Brentford clear the lines, but only as far as Coppinger. Coppinger got a bit of space, might try an effort from distance, does so, and it swings away, and Moore has to get down to his left to palm that away. But the ball just sat there for Coppinger at about 25-30 yards from goal. Looked up, saw his opportunity, hit an effort, it swung away, and Moore saved. But now here come Brentford on the counter attack on the right hand side. If Logan keep it in, Logan does just about keep it in, just to manage to keep himself out of the dugouts, and two fierce challenges on that side as Digaruga jumps in with look like 2 feet from this side on Coppinger, but the referee's played on. Coppinger's just about evaded it, and now Rovers will come away on the right hand side, switching from left to right where Cotterill is. The game's opening up now in the last few minutes or so, and a few fierce challenges flying in, as well as Lundstram neatly done, turned away from Digaruga. Can't quite get it beyond O'Connor to find space, and now a little bit of respite perhaps as Brentford try to come away down this left hand side. But another good chance there for Rovers, with Coppinger taking the opportunity to get a shot in and really test more. Yeah,
I thought the chance had gone when I think it was Furman, and I think it might have been Furman and Coppinger both sort of like ran into each other, but Coppinger just kept his balance. I'll go back to you here.
As right, Phillips the chance to shoot for Brentford just outside the box, but he shot's a tame one, and Sullivan's read that all the way, and it's safely into Sullivan's hands. Sorry, Donny.
Yeah, just saying, they did well to, I think he stumbled a little bit before he had the shot. Maybe actually helped him sight the shot a little bit better, and it's moved because the keeper's gone towards his right, and he just had to change at the last minute, and which is probably why he couldn't catch the ball and parried it. But Lundstram just showing a good bit of football as well in the middle there. He didn't quite do it, but given a little bit of space, he sort of like showed his man one way and went the other over the top, and just got a bit unlucky that he overhit it.
Yeah, the shot, as we said, I'm not quite sure if he got a deflection or it was just the outside of the boot shot from Coppinger. It's quite hard to tell from this angle and distance that we're at, but he did swing and did move in the air. Moore had to be alert to get down to his left to parry that away, but a good chance for Rovers there, and the second of the key chances that Rovers have had this afternoon. A good early effort from Coppinger, but not quite working for him, and the ball has restarted, but it's just been bobbling around on halfway while we've been talking, and it's a throw into Rovers on the halfway line over on the far side in front of the dugouts, which Spur will take once he gets the ball from Sullivan, which is just waiting for now. So we're just closing on half time. The board over the far side is saying 45 minutes. Fourth official's getting ready to display his board. Whether we can see him from here or not will be an if it matter. So these two guys next to him will hopefully spot it. 4 minutes, yeah. It's got a line of people showing 4 fingers all the way along this press box there. But it is 4 minutes to go until half time. 4 minutes added time for the injury to Rob Jones, who's back on his feet and has shown no signs of that since, and for the time to deal with the flare that came on from the Rovers end. 4 minutes injury time is what we're into, as Brentford with a chance to break, with Donaldson trying to get the end of it, appealing for the shove there from Jones, but Jones just used his strength and his positioning to get in front of him and deal with that and clear, as Donaldson tried to get in behind from a flick on. Brentford now will restart play on the far side with a throw-in, as Chris Brown does well to force them out of play, and it's Logan who will have a chance to throw from the right back position about 10 yards inside Rovers half as we come towards half time. His throw towards Spur. Spur wins it and heads clear to be another throw to Brentford, which Logan will take. Steals a few yards down that side and is now midway inside Rovers half as he tries to take it in towards the feet of Donaldson. Donaldson looking for the flick on for Adeyemi. I thought Adeyemi was off. The flag hasn't gone up, and Lundstram clears as far as Brown getting a foot in tellingly. Spur comes inside and Cotterill's got space to his right but no one in it, so instead he'll go left, and Coppinger's outside of him. Brown's in front of him, but Cotterill carries a good 25 yards across halfway, just rolls it or tries to roll it back to Coppinger, but off balance, he can't keep it in play, and that'll be a Brentford throw on halfway line there, which they take early from Logan, throwing long to Phillips. Phillips gets it stuck under his feet. Furman's on him on a flash, takes off his toe and gets to McComb, who goes long, but he goes long and nowhere near Brown or Hume, unfortunately, so a chance for Brentford to reset. But Furman and Lundstrom particularly in midfield, I would say, but really doing a lot of work in there, putting the pressure on Brentford and not giving them an inch where they can in the danger areas.
Yeah, Lundstrom especially, not for for a young lad, he's really not ducking out of any sort of challenges or any sort of physical battles, which obviously he's got to be a little bit careful in doing. Now he's on a booking, but yeah, they're both really putting themselves about against people that are a lot bigger than at least Furman anyway.
As Brentford spread the play out from left to right and find some space for Logan to carry forward. Coppinger's with him. Lundstrom, who we just mentioned, is over there as well, as is Furman to take it off Donaldson. Douglas tries to feed a little pass inside towards him, but Jones reads it and clears, and it's a long ball forward that Brentford Bidwell's just about dealt with, but he's hooked it in an obscure direction back beyond his right back who wasn't there. It's gone out of play, and that'll be a Rovers throw in about 15 yards into Brentford's half on the left hand side, which Spur will come forward and take. So we're in injury time here at the end of first half here at Griffin Park. It's Brentford 0, Rovers 0. That's the main thing you need to worry about. We're not bothered telling you the scores from anywhere else because they don't matter to us today, this afternoon. It's, as I say, the key one is here, right here at Griffin Park, and as we're in injury time at the first half, it's still goalless here this afternoon, and Brentford looking to come forward one last time, perhaps before half time, through Bidwell and Forrester. Bidwell goes around Cotterill a little bit too easily there and crosses halfway. Foster's pulled inside, and that's who gets it in the centre midfield. Little first touch towards Douglas, back to Bidwell, and he might have a chance to cross it, but Cotterill gets back to put him under pressure. In towards Douglas, and now goes right. Here's Diagaraga with a bit of space, tries to go for the feet of Adeyemi, who's in there. Adeyemi might just get away from that and almost does so. Just bounce off his toe, wants to get inside the two Rovers centre halves and flick it goalwards. And Sullivan's read it very perfectly and come off his line to get that in his hands neatly there, Sullivan, as Adeyemi tried to turn inside for Brentford. But a chance there with Brentford, just moving the ball quite quickly, sort of, short passes there, getting in behind Rovers and causing a bit of trouble there for the centre halves. Yeah,
twice, obviously, the Rob Jones, when he got across moments earlier as well, I think they've only been in behind once really with that first shot from, I think it was Wright Phillips earlier on, but they're just threatening on edge at box, aren't they, to play a good bit of football.
Here's Hume just from a long ball forward into the Brentford penalty area, cutting right and left over on the far side. Dummy from Brown, draws shot from Cotterill, but Moore saves again down low to his right hand side. Hume just chased a long ball forward there, managing to hold it up in the penalty area, played towards the edge of the box. Brown stepped over it, letting Cotterill come onto it, but his low shot down to the right hand side of Moore, but keeper dates down well to save it and smother it as from Cotterill's effort. But another good chance for Rovers on the break there to threaten the home side. Yeah,
and just as I said earlier, when they get the chance on the break, as the half time whistle does just go for everybody listening, but yeah, as they get the chance on the break, they do go forward. It's just sometimes when Brentford are having the pressure on, they're just using the experience, a lot of them out there, just to slow the game down and set up again ready for the attack that they're going to be defending. But a good performance from Rovers so far, done the job.
So here we go then, things about to get back underway for the second half here at Griffin Park. No changes for either team at the break, and it'll be Rovers that kick off in the green shirts, going towards the Rovers fans behind the goal. Say it's away to our left just as a point of reference, but it doesn't matter to you wherever you're listening from. It's just to help us out as we go, as the centre is taken out wide towards Brown. We're still blasting out Hey Jude on the tannoy here, but the game is underway as someone tries to find the off switch. There it is, and it'll be a Brentford throw in from Bidwell over on that left hand side. But no real changes in personnel. We'll carry on as we left off at half time, and it's still here at the afternoon. It's still Brentford 0, Rovers 0, and as we say, if that carries on and things hold out like that, that's to our benefit, of course.
Yes, 45 minutes plus a little bit of added on time. Well, after going on the first half, it could be a lot of added on time. But no, one half of football left, and it's still ours.
So I'm trying to make a note, but I can't write on my pad and face forwards at the same time. It's that cramped in here. As Rovers get a free kick forwards towards the box, but the flag's gone up on Hume just inside the area. Does a couple of kick ups and leaves it for a free kick, which Moore, the goalkeeper, will take for Brentford. So yeah, it's a late kick over for the second half. I make it about 8 minutes past 4 when we've kicked off this game, so you're probably going to be feeling quite tense right the way through to 5 o'clock, and I would imagine there'll be injury time on top as well, because Rovers have certainly been trying to run the clock down when the ball's been out of play, it has to be said, during the first half. And hopefully things will pan out and we won't be too tense a time once it reaches that. But Brentford come forward now as Donaldson flicks on for Wright Phillips. He can't find it and Rovers will get a chance to clear through Coppinger. Brown's racing onto that, he might beat O'Connor to it. O'Connor just stretches well and gets a toe on it, flicks up in the air, and Moore, the keeper, clears as Brown was chasing him forward. The ball, but Moore is all the way through to halfway, where Quinn and Forrester on that far side of Tusselin. Forrester comes off, it's Quinn who's come off worse in the end and goes down for the free kick. Uwe Rossler is he's either Yeah, he's signalling for a push there, I think, more than anything. Uwe Ross very animated in the Brentford technical area opposite us, but it's a free kick to Rovers right in front of him, which Cotterill's gone over to take, and Rob Jones has taken a chance to get forward, even though they're not in the box. Rovers attackers, as Cotterill puts it towards Jones. Jones can't win it, but it is flicked on inadvertently by Adeyemi, the Brentford man. Over towards the right back where Logan hooks clear. Adeyemi the second time will hook clear, and then Jones will put it back into the mix. But it's over the top of everyone onto that left-hand side, and it'll be a goal kick to Brentford as it runs out of play.
Yeah, that's been something today as well. I mean, we've not had any corners or anything, and not many set pieces in good areas, but Jones and McComb have either, I mean, that's probably the first time I remember Jones going up, and it's just choosing. Normally on that situation they'd always go up, but I think today it's kind of, no, if we don't need to be there's no point. Brown can win headers, and
you've got to remember that the result as it stands is a result that Rovers can do something to protect, and that's, as you say, Jones has trotted forward for a few, but we've not seen both centre halves go forward for everything so far. There's been a couple of free kicks where neither of them have gone forward as well, but as Danny rightly says, normally we're used to seeing them both trot up there at every opportunity, but it's not always been the case today. Perhaps waiting for those corners and key ones to before they do so, as the ball is cleared, and Brentford have a throw-in over on their left-hand side, about 15-20 yards inside Rovers' half. Bidwell it is who looks to take it quickly towards the feet of Wright Phillips, who's gone over that side. Bidwell gets it back, tries to go around Cotterill but can't, and that'll be another throw in to Brentford on that side. At the moment, Brentford looking to get it forward, but they haven't got anyone with a long throw, Brentford, so it is always to feet from these throw-ins from Bidwell. He's waiting for the option from Forrester and Wright Phillips where he can get it around. Forrester shakes back and forward to get away from Cotterill, but Quinn reads it, takes off his toe, and Veer Cotterill. Rovers get it clear towards halfway where Brown battles with O'Connor, and the ball comes, judged to come off Brown. It'll be another throw into Brentford on that left-hand side, which Bidwell will take. Digger tries to pull out to offer, but instead he goes to the feet of Douglas. Cotterill has two goes at clearing it, slices both of them, and Phillips has got a chance to win it in towards the 6-yard box here. Donaldson's up with Sullivan. Sullivan does very well there, backpedaling to get a hand on the ball first and foremost and deal it away, although the free kick looks to have gone for the foul on Sullivan, I think. Yeah, didn't hear the whistle, but it has gone. Just judged to have taken a knock from Donaldson, I think.
Yeah, I was hoping there was going to be, I mean, even after we dealt with Alpha, I was hoping that the ref was going to give them as fouls, because I think Sullivan there has just been, I think Donaldson's just gone straight into Sullivan. I don't think the ball was a bit too high there. I think he was in a better view than me, but the ball seemed well too high for Donaldson, who just tried to do whatever he could to ensure Sullivan couldn't get it, and the ball could have actually ended up in the back of the net from the cross. But
I think the keeper Sullivan is even under that. He still managed to see it, get a hand on it and get it away, and that's key for him and his confidence as the game goes on. Rovers have cleared it now, and it's Coppinger on the left hand side feeding Hume over this side as well. Coppinger goes round him and gets it back. Chance to cross, see if he can get round Dean. The centre half does cross, but it's straight to the near post and into the hands of Simon Moore, the keeper, and he'll look to come away with it with a big kick downfield, looking for Wright Phillips, who's up against McComb. McComb goes to meet it, Quinn gets round him. McComb can't win the header because Wright Phillips is backing into him, although the Brentford fans are appealing for the foul by McComb. Instead, McComb just waits his time, reads it, and takes the opportunity to get that clear, which will be a Rovers throw-in, I think, rather than a free kick, with Wright Phillips putting the pressure on him. So Wright Phillips put the pressure on. I think it's going to be a free kick because Sullivan's gone over there to take it. So McComb just reading that well and effectively there to see it out of play. And Sullivan now will take the free kick for the foul by Wright Phillips as he got frustrated by him.
Yeah, just got to be a little bit careful. McComb on that occasion is fine, but with a crowd, wanting free kicks in that area and him being on a book, and he's just putting his hands on the centre forward there. But in the end, he's done well and got his team out of trouble. Then won a foul and just bought us some more time to get out of defence as well.
Rovers have done so, and they've got out of defence down that right hand side, and they'll have a throw in just beyond the edge of the Brentford penalty area over on the right, which Quinn will go forward to take. No one else trotting for. McComb's just gone to offer a little bit of cover on that side, but the rest of the back four stay at the back. Everyone else is in and around the box though, as Quinn looks short and goes towards the feet of Brown to hold up. Brown ends up on the pile on the floor, as does his marker. The referee's giving absolutely nothing to and just sort of wrestling each other to go. And they're wrong side of us, so we can't really tell what happened there for them to go down, but the Browns got up appealing for a free kick, as have the Rovers fans behind that goal, but it's instead referees just let it go out and it'll be a goal kick to Brentford to restart. Taken short by Moore over to Bidwell, the left back, gets it forward into the channel looking for Wright Phillips, who again is up with McComb. McComb's read it well, but he's sliced his clearance and he's gone straight out of play for the Brentford throw in about 20 yards from the corner flag on the left hand side. Forrester's gone over, but he's not going to take it, he's going to leave it for Bidwell. Cotterill's tracked back now and he'll pick Forrester up as Bidwell looks for a short option for this throw-in. Bradley Wright Phillips is over there and he's trying to make space for it. Instead he goes towards Douglas and gets it back to the left back, who gets around Cotterill. Lundstrom is there again to get over and get it off his toe and clear. Far again, and Brentford got a chance to work this into the box here. He would have if Quinn hadn't read that perfectly in the end. Quinn's got across, got a key foot in there as Wright Phillips tried to get on the overlap, but Rovers have only cleared for another throw in which Bidwell will take again. Forrester gets it to his feet and tries to get the crossing first time. Cannons off the shins of Quinn, and that'll be a corner to Brentford now. So Brentford with a corner on their left. Taken quickly by Brentford, even though they've got men getting in there. Bridwell leaves it for Forrester. Forrester trying to get around Cotterill, and Hume's going to cross him as well. Hume times that challenge perfectly despite the appeals and takes it off his toe. And Rovers have got a chance to break. Well, they've got a chance to break, but they've got no one there unless Coppinger can make something of it. Up against O'Connor. Released by Furman. Coppinger can't quite get the better of O'Connor, but will put the pressure on Simon Moore, the keeper, and he'll force Moore to clear out into play. Out into the stands, and that'll be a throw into Rovers just inside the Brentford half there. Brentford might have done Rovers a favour by taking that corner quickly.
Yeah, and just on the counter-attack then, I think Coppinger expected the defender to come across, so he's expected to be nipping it past him, and in the end he probably had time to take it under control and square him up one-on-one, and might have had the favourite in terms of pace on him, but didn't get away with it.
Yeah, just came over to Coppinger again, who's now over on the left-hand side here in front of us. He's tried to whip across him, but it's been intercepted as he tried to get him towards Hume, and Brentford have had a chance to clear. As the sky's dark in here over Griffin Park, a few clouds drifting in now, and things are getting a bit dark out there in front of us, as Lundstrom gets it back to McComb, and under pressure from Guarago, I think it was, putting the pressure on. McComb's managed to see it, take his time and clear. He's been very assured at the back, McComb. We have to bear in mind, as we've said, he's already on a yellow card from this game this afternoon. So we'll see how things pan out and see. But he's dealt with it well and cleared, and getting things forward from Rovers, and Rovers with Coppinger just trying to find some space. Gets a touch there from Adeyemi, and that'll be another free kick to Rovers over on this left-hand side, about 15 yards inside their own half, and as you'd imagine, be absolutely in no hurry to take it. In fact, it is Sullivan who's going to come over to take it. The temperature's just dropped a fair bit here at Griffin Park. Wind stand to whip through the ground, and the skies have. I can't see any sky from where we're, so I can only see the roof of the stand, but it has got dark out in front of us, and we'll presume that it's clouding over. The wind whipping up as well as Sullivan takes this free kick from over on the left hand side and then trots back towards his goal, over towards Brownie. He's beaten in the air by Dean, but he can only head it down towards Cotterill on the right hand side for Rovers. Back to Lundstrom. Lundstrom takes a touch but goes back to Cotterill, and he's come back all the way to Quinn at right back. Quinn plays a first time cross looking for Brown. Dean reads it and heads clear. Douglas, Brentford had the chance to work that out, but instead they've just hooked it, and McComb has looked to play it. McComb looked offside, but referees let him play on, and now Cotterill almost has a chance to get away down the right, but he can't. Bidwell will take off his toe, and now the left back for Brentford will carry it forward over halfway down the left hand side, gesturing for Donaldson to come towards him, but he hasn't done. Instead, Bidwell will try and go around Lundstrom on his own and get to the byline where he is now. Plays it off Lundstrom and wins a corner. A good run by the Brentford fullback there. He's won a corner to his team, and again Brentford will get people forward and won't be in any rush to take this one quickly.
Hume won't have been offside there because it came off the defender, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't see who played it, so that's Chris, our regular rule checker, has informed me that Hume certainly wasn't offside in that situation. But in the end, it's come to nothing for Rovers, but a corner for Brentford. They've got every Rovers man is back in and around the penalty area. Brentford only got 3 men not in it, 4 if they can't take it. It's whipped in towards the 6-yard box, almost hooked towards goal, but again McComb's there to get a block in, and Rovers have got a chance to come away with it with Brown, who's come all the way to the left hand side to clear there. Cotterill, Brown and Spur trying to work it out from that corner. Brown does a neat little back heel, little drag back to get away from Douglas, and is then bundled to the floor by Douglas. Quite intelligent play there from Brown as he was penned in, drawn the foul in the end, and that'll be a free kick to Rovers this left side. But a good in-swinging corner for Brentford there. Just I didn't see who got on the end of it because it went right behind the pillar that obstructs that goal from my view, and McComb was in front to clear.
Well, I saw it come across and lost the ball, and I thought, is it going to be headed because of how good the delivery was? But just talking about Brown there, even Hume, give him a round of applause for just buying his team some more time and getting into shape again.
See potential head injury there to Hume. The referee isn't there, he is stopping it now, and he's going for a shove or something. We can't work out. There's appeals for anything and everything at the moment around us as the supporters here get tense. Hume's gone down holding his head, having gone for the challenge for the ball as he went forward. Not a foul, I don't think, just to coming together, but as that's run loose, Brentford fans feel that there's been a foul on halfway. As the rain starts to fall here at Griffin Park, people at the front of the terrace just backing away a bit where they can, but the rain swinging in from right to left as the wind as well comes in, and just conditions are deteriorating now and turning into the fraught battle that we perhaps we expected it to be.
Yeah, the first time of the day I'm happy to be right where I am, and which is boxed in the press box really, but not quite sure what's going on off the ball here as the Brentford fans are just having a go at Ian Hume for having an head injury. But besides that, I just saw Chris point down and laugh, but other than that, the referee's given a drop ball, is he?
Yeah, I think he's decided that he's stopped play for the head injury for Hume, so he's dropped the ball for Brown. Brown just gets on it, hooks it high towards Simon Moore, just wide of Moore's goal in the end. Actually, it looked like he might go over his head into the goal for 1 minute. So that'll be a goal kick to Brentford, which Moore will take. Hume is back on the field now, having had a bit of treatment there, but Hume's back in playing amongst things. We've been playing for about 12 minutes this second half here at Griffin Park. Still Brentford 0, Doncaster Rovers 0 this afternoon. As we've said before, that score as it stays will benefit Brentford more than anything, as Brentford take this goal kick short and then fail to do anything productive with it, and Moore's kick is high and just hangs in the Brentford half, as does Logan's follow-up clearance. Donaldson comes back to win it, does win it, but heads it straight out of play for a throw into Rovers, which Spur will take on the left. Spur about 10 yards inside the Brentford half. Might look long towards Brown, I would think, down the line. The centre half certainly haven't gone forward. It's not that far forward for Rovers, and he's looking for Brown in that corner, and that's where he's going. Brown in the right hand corner. It's beyond Brown, and Dean, the centre half, will let that run all the way out of play instead for a goal kick, which Moore will take. And I would imagine after the cock up they made of the last one, he'll probably look to go along with this one.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, he's given it short and got it back, missed it, his kick, and his team were under pressure again, and the fans didn't really want to see that, and probably suiting Rovers more than anything, so I'm quite hoping he does it again, but he hasn't. He has gone long.
He has gone long, but I'm noticing now that the wind, as the wind's got up, the sun's disappeared and the rain's coming, it is going from towards the Brentford goal, from right to left as we look. It is right in Simon Moore's face, the wind and the rain, so that's perhaps why his kicks are hanging in the air a bit. We shall see. It's not stopped Brentford getting forward though down this right hand side where Logan tries to head on towards Wright Phillips. Phillips is in behind Spur if he can find some space here, tries to go across. McComb appeals for the foul, and the referee has decided that instead it is a dive by Bradley Wright Phillips. Phillips gone down very easily, and he becomes the first Brentford man to go into the box, having just sort of hurled himself at McComb. I don't know if you're still arguing with him at the moment, but it is going to be a free kick to Rovers just inside the box. I don't know
if you could see that because of the post, but that was one of the most horrendous dives. That was David Cotterl's dive. That was just the way he's come into the box and he's took a heavy touch, and I don't know if the player was near him. I can't remember who it was, but McComb's come near it. Well, it probably was McComb, the fact that he's on a yellow card, and he just jumped to the floor, and thankfully we've got a half-decent referee today, and he knows what he's doing, and he's booked him for diving.
Yeah, you wouldn't get the appeal that the home fans around us feel that he knows what he's doing, as you might have heard in the background there, but it is a first yellow card for Brentford. Wright Phillips goes into the box for a dive inside the Rovers penalty area, nothing doing, and Rovers have cleared it, and now it's going to be a Rovers throw in level with the edge of the Brentford box on the left hand side, which Spur will take long. Jones goes forward, McComb stays back. Quinn is just pointing at Lundstrom to stay in the gap between them and the edge of the box. So Brown is in there, as is Jones. It's towards Jones at the near post. Jones just almost gets the flick on, but Dean stuffs it out and it comes back to Spur. Spur puts the cross in, swinging away, and Diaruga's able to get it headed clear towards Forrester on the Brentford left. Cotterill's under it, but Cotterill's lost his footing and Forrester's taken it off him. Tries to go long, but Lundstrom's done well to get across and block. And instead Brentford will have to come again through the right hand side if Douglas can get it over to Logan, which he does so now on the touchline. Logan has to go back to Douglas, he tries to go into the gap, there's no one there. Spur just cushions it onto his left foot and clears, despite the lunge of Adeyemi across his path there. And it's going to be a Brentford throw in about 5 or 10 yards inside out. Things getting a little tenser here at Griffin Park, you feel. The noise level certainly lifted a bit this second half, both the Rounders and the Rovers fans at that end, although as I look to them now, most of them look a bit dumbfounded by things that are going on around them, and rightly so, because that's exactly how I would be feeling if I was watching this game with them right now. But instead, I've got to tell you what is happening at the moment. What's happening is Hume is almost getting the better of Dean in the corner, but Dean just about takes it off him and then tries to leather it clear, but he's undone his good work by giving it straight to Lundstrom, who finds Brown. Brown tries to get it to Furman. Instead, Diaruga's won it and fed Donaldson, and Donaldson will carry it forward. Phillips has gone into the right channel, tries to get the shot in, and McComb is there once again to snuff it out, make the block, whereas the noise might tell you it's a Brentford corner. So it's throw-in. Thank you very much, Chris. Chris has got a better eyesight than me, and Chris said it is the throw-in. It is a throw-in right by the corner flag, which Logan will go over to take. Logan throws it short to Adeyemi. Adeyemi gives it back. Logan's offside. A foolish error there from Brentford, as they got men in the box and the crowd behind them. But it is going to be a free kick to Rovers in the corner, and I think Uwe Rostler's about to make the first change of the afternoon. Or is it
nice Rovers? Looks like Paul Keegan's coming on for John Lundstrom.
So Rovers substitution then, getting set to be made an hour into things here at Griffin Park, and it's John Lundstrom who will go off for Keegan when Michael Oliver realises what's going on. The board's been put up. Paul Keegan's ready to go, and if he's just buying time, he's pointing at his watch. Lundstrom is going over now. Yeah. The reason I thought that was taking longer is because I've just realised I've been looking at Dean Furman for the entire time rather than John Lundstrom. But Lundstrom has got off now. He's making his way. Paul Keegan will replace him in centre midfield. Perhaps a wise move from Flynn there with Luncham, as we've said, on a booking already. Although the way Paul Keegan plays, I imagine we'll have another midfielder on a booking in a short space of time. But Luncham goes off, straight like for like swap. Paul Keegan comes on for Rovers with an hour gone. Half an hour to play here at Griffin Park, and that's the changes. Keegan gets his first touch with a header forward, but it's straight towards Douglas, and he'll go over to Bidwell, the left back, to carry it away. Bidwell then looking for Donaldson, but Quinn's read it well, and Rovers have got it forward as Brown tries to get away from Dean to get onto the end of it, but he can't. Moore's thrown it out quickly to Logan. Coppinger's put pressure on him straight away, so he had to go back to the goalkeeper, and his kick forward is towards Adeyemi, who gets the flick onto Wright Phillips. Adeyemi can't get the better of Jones though, and now here come Rovers as Brown finds Coppinger. Fierce challenge in from Logan towards Coppinger, who's just read it. Furman with a fantastic diving header off the bouncing ball to get it out to Brown on the left hand side. Brown, little drag back away from Logan, comes back to the feet of Coppinger. Coppinger will think about the cross. Hume's in there, Cotterell's in there, but Brown is with him. Instead, Spur goes to the cross, but he's hit it high, got his foot underneath, and it's straight down the throat of Simon Moore in the 6-yard box, and Moore releases it quickly now, this time looking for Donaldson up front for Brentford. Finds him over on that left hand side up against Quinn. Quinn's done well there to force him backwards, back towards Douglas, and Furman is in quickly to take it off his toe. It looked like it could have been a free kick to Rovers, but instead it's going to be a throw into Brentford there. I thought Douglas had caught Furman, but Mike Oliver doesn't think so, and a little bit of respite as Brentford take a throw in midway inside their half.
Yeah, I thought perhaps, but obviously the referee must have seen that. I think the Furman may have slipped on the ball or not, but I don't know if it's good or bad from Rovers' point of view, but it's a little more open this game than it's been. Both sides getting forward a lot better.
And here's Brentford getting forward with Adeyemi trying to feed Wright Phillips in the inside. I think Adeyemi had more space to carry that forward and have a try shot than try and feed a pass in, but he's tried to put Wright Phillips in. He's really overhit it, and it's comfortably behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, I think Adeyemi's reaction there is still now got his hands on his head. I think he realises he's probably got the opportunity there to have a shot as Glenn just gets his notes down for the substitution, yes. So I just taught you through. I don't know who went off, sorry
Glenn. It's Forshaw's coming on, Adam Forshaw is coming on for Shaleem Logan. It looks like a straight swap at right back, I think. Well, they're all looking towards him to see where he goes. Now it's Adeyemi's going to drop to right back, and Forshaw's going to go into midfield for Brentford. Shaleem Logan it is that's gone off. So Adeyemi having not quite made the most of that attack. And then the referee's just... Fans are just complaining that Neil Sullivan's taking his time over this goal kick, but Neil Sullivan's actually handing one of the many objects that have currently been thrown at him by Brentford fans to the steward, and that's why he's taking his time. But he kicks it forward now towards Brown, shoving the back on by Dean on Brown. It looked, but referee plays on as Keegan wins 2 headers to get it forward. Now Hume's got a chance to get in behind here because O'Connor's slipped. Hume goes shoulder to shoulder with Adeyemi. Adeyemi gets a toe on it, puts it out, but it'll be a corner to Rovers. So a corner to Rovers over this side. Just looking to the far end while Neil Sullivan's gone for a chat with the stewards. Never mind that though, because here come Jones and McComb trotting forward. Every single Brentford man is in the box. Cotterell's over to take it. Furman and Keegan on the edge. It's booked in towards the far post. Jones is up and under it. He can't quite direct the header, and it goes wide of Moore's left-hand post in the end for the goal kick. Brentford had everyone back there, but Rovers noticeably kept Spur, kept Quinn, kept Keegan and kept Furman all quite deep there, despite the fact they had no one to mark. So a sign that Rovers are wary that they don't want to give Brentford any opportunities out of nothing, I think.
Yeah, it's coming to that stage, isn't it? I mean, even Brentford, because there's still quite a bit of time left, they're not wanting Rovers to score, because obviously that makes them need to. So both teams are a little bit tense at the moment. There's a few mistakes out there, which is, I think, why Logan might have gone off. He looks a bit nervous on the ball when he's received it from the goalkeeper. So I think it's just at that point in the match now where nerves are starting to certainly settle in.
Yeah, and it's good fair points actually. Logan just been a bit edgy with interplay with more the keeper last few minutes, but he's been replaced now by Forshaw, and Adeyemi's gone to right back as Rovers get the ball down the left hand side, and Hume just can't quite beat Dean to get on to the end of it. The both two players end up in a bundle, pick each other up, and it'll be a goal kick to Brentford again, which Moore will take. So 20 minutes gone of the second half here at Griffin Park. Devoid of clear-cut chances, I would say, so far, by the Brentford corner that was blocked by McComb, close range in the 6-yard box. But no real chances of note of the second half. Rovers having the better clear-cut chances in the first, with Cotterell flashing off it just wide, and Coppinger and Cotterell again bringing saves from Moore. But having said that, Brentford came even closer because they struck the side of Neil Sullivan's post in the first half. But since the break, it's been a slightly more open, as Danny has said, in midfield. It's not been the battle that it had been in the first, but it's still neither team struggling to get it down and play as much as they would like, I'd imagine. And it's Brentford trying to do that right now as Forshaw gets into the right-hand corner for Donaldson to chase. Donaldson gets around Jones, gets his toe on it, but McComb reads it, and via Jones, the two of them just almost got it cleared. It's falling short in the box. It actually fell to the feet of Douglas in the box, and a gilt-edged chance for Douglas to get a shot, and in the end he's got his body position all wrong, got his foot underneath it, and he's lifted it over the roof of the stand, never mind the roof of the goal, and that's why there's the groans around us, because that was a very key chance for Brentford as Jones and McComb struggled to clear the lines.
Yeah, in terms of chances, I think maybe the one that Phillips hit the post, right, Phillips hit the post, and I think that might even be easier because he's coming onto the ball. It's only 10 yards or so central, and he's running onto it, no bobble, and he's just really got underneath it and probably just overthought about it in running up. But Rovers get away with that because I think Jones tried to keep it in and just bobbled about a little bit, as I think Sullivan just winds the crowd up again by moving the ball. But yeah, Rovers survived that, and probably Brentford will be disappointed they didn't make more of that.
Sorry, I was just chucking something for my amusement at how much annoyance one man carrying a ball across a goalmouth can cause, and Sullivan just maximised that. He got the jeers of about 4,000 people as a result of it. But he has taken the goal kick, he has gone forward, and it's a Rovers throw-in about 10 yards inside the Brentford half, over on the right hand side. As we say, it's still 0-0 at the moment here at Griffin Park in the game of the match. We're about midway through the second half now, as Quinn throws short to Cotterill, gets it back. Quinn just gets a nudge there, looked like a foul, has to be said, but Quinn's come away with the ball instead in the end and carries it forward with Cotterill to outside him. Hume's inside and so is Brown, goes to the feet of Brown, can't quite get there. O'Connor's across, and O'Connor will get a touch and clear, and that'll be a throw into Rovers which Quinn will take. Quinn just pointing out that he felt he should have had a foul back there and got away with the ball. The referee's not having any of it, so it'll be a throw in anyway from Quinn. Cotterill's gone short, Hume has as well, and it's towards the feet of Hume, who tries to hold it up near the corner flag. Cotterill's behind him, Hume tries to get it through the legs to Cotterill, it comes off a Brentford man, and that will be a Rovers corner then. So it's a corner to Rovers on the Rovers right. Cotterill's going to take it. Jones has gone forward now. McComb has also gone forward. It's taken towards Jones, and McComb arriving. Like McComb almost gets in, just nudged off balance. He's attacked that by O'Connor. Did McComb, and he can't quite the header. Instead, it's gone over to the left hand side where Rob Jones is currently employed as a left winger, trying to go around Diaraga. Let's see how that pans out. It's come through to Coppinger. Coppinger gets it back in first time with a good whip through, and Brown with a flick on. Instead, it just falls to the chest of Forrester, and with no one forward, he just hoofs it high and long and out to the left hand side to clear his lines and give both teams a chance to reshape. Well, it hasn't actually reached play, it's hung up that much. Quinn's got across and put it forward. Fields fell offside by the Brentford fans and not given against Brown because he'd left the play go. And here's Hume out to Cotterill on the right. Bit of space for Cotterill. Might run at Forrester if they can go outside him, which he tries to do. Keeps it in play. He's got Furman inside of him. Quinn's back there as well. Instead he comes to Keegan in midfield. Keegan now does go over to Paul Quinn at right back. He goes back towards McComb. McComb has to be on alert to get there before Douglas does so, but he can't do anything with it because his main focus there was winning the ball more than where it went in the end. And it'll be a goal kick to Brentford while we wait for another substitution to be made.
Yeah, just on that corner then, after it come out, I was surprised with how Brentford just were happy, well, maybe not happy, but just the way in which they kind of just wanted to clear it. They had he had no one around him. I mean, he needed to get rid of the ball, but the way in which he kind of just wanted to kick it out of play, whether it just to gain territory for his side. But again, it probably just suits Rovers in the sense that they just gave him a chance to get back and build again, really, to defend or attack when that occasion attack.
Well, that hoof clearance from Forrester was his last action of the game. He's been replaced by Sam Saunders, and Sam Saunders is on the ball early with a chance to shoot. Sam Saunders' first touch there was to bring it down. I mean, come on for Brentford. Forrester saying bring it down, have a shot. It's deflected, spun away. Sullivan's had to watch it, and it's run wide of his goal to the right, and it's going to be a corner to Brentford, which the substitute Saunders is going to go over there and take. So a corner to Brentford. They've got every man forward bar O'Connor and the goalkeeper as Saunders whips in towards the near post. It's met by Furman, just out jumping his own teammate to get that clear, and he's stayed down Furman, which he wants to get up because he's playing everyone on at the moment as Brentford look to get it back in the box. Saunders is on the ball on the far side. Saunders whips it in swinger. Brown's back there to head clear, comes away towards Dean, the centre half on the corner of the box. He tries to tip it back in, but Furman this time reads it and clears and gets it all the way back to halfway, and Rovers will try and get out of their area as O'Connor and Diaraga trying to exchange passes through here, and into the feet of Douglas. Donaldson trying to flick on for Douglas running on, but can't quite do it, and almost a chance for Rovers to break then as that attack broke down and came towards halfway where Cotterill, but it ricocheted off Cotterill, and Brentford had a chance to go again. Moore puts it long towards Wright Phillips, but Furman's read it and turned and got away, nudged over, but the referee's not giving anything, and Phillips will turn instead. Comes out right to Adeyemi, who's on this right hand side now. He drives towards the corner flag, comes back to Forshaw. Forshaw, the substitute, tries to whip it in straight against the head of Paul Keegan, who clears out towards Douglas. Douglas tries to head it back in the box, and Quinn clears this time. Brown on halfway then wins the flick on, and Hume will sprint after it. He's unlikely to get there. Keeper's had to come out for it instead. Moore has come for it, lifted it towards Bridwell, and Bridwell just about gets there before Cotterill to nod on to Saunders. Saunders then 10 yards inside Rovers half on the left, comes back into the centre circle for Diaraga, and then Dean, and Dean comes out to the right now. He's got Adeyemi outside him, but he carries it straight down the middle, Dean, in towards the feet of Phillips. Phillips trying to flick on for Donaldson, but Jones reads it well to get up and head clear. Coppinger's back there to get the next touch and hoof it long, but O'Connor's underneath it for Brentford, and Brentford made a couple of headers forward again. Ball's still in the air though, and it's still hanging up there as Brown wins a flick on, gets a hefty nudge in the back, and there'll be time for a bit of respite and a chance to relax for a minute as that's a free kick to Rovers on halfway. But yeah, just a bit scrappy. I mean, it was scrappy, I think, is just ball after ball into the Rovers box at the moment. No, it's a clear sense of purpose though from Brentford, and Rovers have just about managed to deal with everything that came at them.
Yeah, and I think especially the centre half side, and I think Furman got involved a lot there, so just be happy just to have a minute, because as you say, there wasn't, getting in behind, but still a lot to defend one after another, and it just gives them another chance to, probably by the time it starts again, at least a minute or so, just to get the breaths back and have a free kick themselves here.
So Rovers' free kick is put long by McComb into the box. It was too long for Brown, who felt he was getting pulled all over the place by his marker, and instead it's run through and out for another goal kick. So we've got 16, 17, 18 minutes of normal time still to play here at Griffin Park. It's still, if you've just joined us, Brentford 0, Doncaster Rovers 0, and as we all know now, that would do Rovers if it stays this way, but there is still a long way to go in what has been a scrappy, nervy game here this afternoon at Griffin Park, as well you might expect it to be. Brentford with it now at the moment as they try to go forward, but Jones wins the header and clears. Douglas finds some space over towards the left back where Bridwell is. Bridwell's got Saunders in front of him, but goes beyond him towards right Phillips. Husband goes back to Bridwell and he'll carry that forward again. Saunders still out wide, but Bridwell comes inside. He's got a chance to drive towards the box where Phillips is. Phillips turns, falls to the floor, nothing given this time, neither way, and Quinn via Cotterill will get that just about clear for Rovers. He would have done if Cotterill hadn't slipped, and instead he's sprung it out for the Brentford, throwing on the edge of the box for Bridwell to take. Goes towards right Phillips. Phillips trying to turn away from Quinn, just about does so. Furman's got a cross in front of him and stopped him moving. And O'Connor comes back out to Bridwell on the left, and here's Saunders to carry forward once again. This time Cotterill wins it, tries to it's a chance for a cross in there. Rovers have just about dealt with it. Overhead kick from Donaldson, but it's always going left. Big appeals for the handball there, but I think it was only McComb's head. And now there's big appeals for a corner as well from Donaldson's overhead kick, but it's not come to anything, and that'll be a goal kick to Rovers.
Yellow card as well there for number
Donaldson, was it for the P? Oh, Forshaw, was it?
I think it was number 8 actually in the middle. Just
Douglas. Sorry,
yeah, Douglas. That's what I couldn't remember his name. I wanted to say Donaldson, but it definitely weren't. Yeah, I don't know what he's done, but the referee just blew the whistle, showed him a yellow card just as the ball. Well, Sullivan was taking his time as he does to get the goal kick going.
So Jonathan Douglas then in the book for dissent, we would think, and he becomes the fourth man to get caution this afternoon. 2 bookings for either team. Rovers have seen Lundstrom, who's now off the field, having been replaced by Keegan, and McComb go into the book for fouls. Brentford have had Wright Phillips go into the book for diving, and Hume chance to break here on the right hand channel. Cotterill's inside of him. Hume just dinks in towards Cotterill, but he's overhit it, and Moore's able to get out and get there. But a chance for Rovers to break from a Brentford back pass that went wrong, and Hume had a chance to get in behind almost there and come away with it. And that's a foul over on that side, and it's Quinn this time.
I thought it was McComb there.
Yeah,
really
for a minute. It's just a nervousness amongst us in the press box. We thought that was McComb who'd put the foot in on Saunders. Just misread it more than anything. Yeah. Saunders won the battle to the ball, got it for first. Quinn's caught him, and Quinn becomes the third Rovers man to go on the yellow card. Go in the book, following McComb and Lundstrom, who's now the field as I say. So Brentford will restart with a free kick. Kevin O'Connor is in the centre circle at the moment, just carrying it forward and looking for options. Think towards the left hand side of the edge of the box. Tried to be flicked in by Dean, but Rovers have dealt with it. Douglas looked like handball, not given. Goes out towards the left hand side where Saunders is. Gets it back, does Douglas. There's lots of men in the box for him to try and go for. Instead he'll probably go left towards Bridwell. Does so. Here's the left fullback on the far side now. On the touchline. Tries to go around Cotterill. Cotterill stands his ground well. Gets in front of him, but he's cleared. It's only as far as Douglas and Saunders, who are lurking out there. Brown's over there now trying to close him down on the Rovers right wing. It's come back to O'Connor, and Hume puts him under pressure. O'Connor just dicks it into as Dean wins the header. McComb is right underneath it again to get a foot on it, and Keegan does the same, but it's still in and around the Rovers box as Donaldson tries to find Adeyemi going around the outside of him. That's Adeyemi, the right back, who's all the way over on that left hand side at the moment, trying to get around the outside of Donaldson. Doesn't quite do so, and Cotterill clears and gets it back from round to try and clear it again here. Cotterill does so this time. I think it hasn't come off the Brentford man, it's gone straight off. Uwe Rosler fields it, gives it to Jonathan Douglas, and he'll take the throw in, or will he? Yes, he will. Brentford just waiting to make another substitution. That's why there was hesitation there, but they've not made it. Instead they've come away down that left hand side via Saunders and Bridwell. It's back inside to Diarra now. There's a bit of space for him to have a try shot, does so, but Keegan stands his grounds in front of it and blocks it straight on, and now Douglas will look for options. To Diarra, again it's a foot in by Furman, and now Coppinger's got a chance to break here, as has Hume. Hume crosses halfway, Brown's out to his right, Hume's running at the men in front of him, he almost loses his foot in, gets it to the feet of Coppinger, little back heel, Hume tries to get it out to Spur, who's on the overlap, but a telling challenge from the Brentford man back back inside his own half to win that, and instead Spur goes backwards to Keegan. Keegan goes back to Jones midway in the half, and Jones tries to look long into the channel for Coppinger, who has just gone too early. And it's unfortunate because if he hadn't, if he timed that right, he'd have been in and behind there for Coppinger, but he had gone too early and the flag's gone up for offside. And I think we're going to see a substitution for either team, both teams now.
Yeah, the Rovers are looking to bring Billy Painter on, are they? I can't really see over there.
It's the Brentford sub that's being made first, so we'll do that one while we can see it. And Douglas is going off to be replaced by Marcelo Trotter, who will be familiar to me. He scored that vital goal for them last weekend at Hartlepool, and Trotter has gone straight up front to join Donaldson and Phillips in what looks like a front three now. Rovers, meanwhile, make another substitution as Hume goes off to be replaced by Painter. So Hume off, Painter on for Rovers, and Keegan is already on for Rovers. So Rovers with the one sub left. Brentford have now made all three of their changes with 15 minutes to go here. Uwe Rosler sends Marcelo Trotter on to go up front. Brentford have shifted to it's like a 3. Actually, probably it is probably still a 4-3-3. It's just that Adeyemi's gone a long way forward while this free kick's taken at the moment. So Uwe Rosler dealing out all his cards in one go, it seems here, as it goes into broke now for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, and the shape of Brentford at the minute, whether or not they've changed it since, was certainly for the last few minutes has been two at the back and Adeyemi playing left and everywhere. Suits Rovers breaking though, definitely, as we see. I mean, I thought on the first time we broke with Ian Hume, I thought his ball was just a bit disappointing. He tried hanging it up when it probably just needed to be played along the ground, but there's a couple of times like Coppinger just being offside with threatened to counter-attack, and Billy Painter's coming on for you. Positives change, if anything, in terms of going for a goal.
There's chances for Rovers on the break, as Danny says, and it is Painter who gets up to win that and head it down towards Brown, but Brown's still feeling his face after getting a bit of a knock in the last challenge he went in for, and he wasn't quite on his toes enough to get on the end of that. But yeah, Rovers are playing with an archetypal front two now in Painter and Brown. I would think that Flynn would want to keep hold of that last substitution should the worst happen between now and full time. But Brentford have made all three of their changes, and they are playing very much a 3-4-3. As things go on. Adeyemi's basically playing a free role now, but it's Dean, the centre half, who carries it forward, tries to go forward, but hits Spur in the chest, and Spur will clear, goes all the way back to O'Connor, the other centre half, who is in defence still, and he'll go over to Bridwell, the left back, to carry forward. Bridwell carrying it into the Rovers half, about midway through on the left hand side, has to go around Cotterill and can't. Cotterill just stands his ground and gets his toe on it and puts it out of play. I make it 12 minutes of normal time plus stoppages to go here at Griffin Park. My commentary team have got their heads in their hands, which isn't a good sign. But Brentford try and work it in from the left hand side through right Phillips, looking to get it in, but there's no one under it, and Spur will hoof that clear, and it'll go long and clear beyond the last centre half, and Rovers get a chance to reshape now as Painter puts O'Connor under pressure. O'Connor tries to go long and left towards Trotter. Trotter is underneath it and cushions it off to Forshaw. Still midway inside the half though, Forshaw, as he turns away from Furman and carries forward, and towards the feet of Trotter, gets it back, just about stands on his feet on the edge of the box. It's a cross in from Forshaw, Dean's up and under it and gets the header, but he can't get any pace on it, and Sullivan is able to watch it. If it's agonising for you at home, bear in mind that when that cross comes in, I can see the cross, I can see the man meet it, because of the location of the pillar here at Griffin Park. I can't see what happens until it comes out the other side of the pillar. So thankfully, on the other side of the pillar that time was Neil Sullivan gathering a football in his hands, and Sullivan's kicked long, and that's a very, very soft free kick that's been given against Brown as he chases it against Brown on Bridwell, and that'll be a free kick to Brentford about 5 yards outside their penalty area.
See, when you see them crosses, I see it come in and then suddenly like the ball go towards the goalkeeper. I don't see if anyone heads it, I don't see if Rovers head it, so I'm just watching for which way the ball goes. So the second it goes towards that Rovers goal, I'm nervous.
There's three of us in line here, and I'll start the commentary, then look to a right in hope, and Danny sort of does exactly the same. They never all eyes go to Chris and Liam Alder for the free press, see what exactly happens as it comes out the pillar. But that's where it is at the moment, as Brentford get a chance to make. Right, Phillips trying to dink it in towards Donaldson, but McComb's went his back to Spurs, so he back to clear. Right, Phillips this time goes out to Bridwell on the left. Still Brentford on the attack as Forshaw comes to Saunders. Saunders got space for the shot and tries one low and long. Hitting hard, cannons off Rob Jones and behind. And that'll be a corner to Brentford on their right hand side. So a loud noise from the Brentford supporters as Saunders comes over to take this corner on the right for Brentford. Be an outswinger from Brentford's right foot, I would think. He is. Brentford have sent everyone forward bar O'Connor and the keeper again. They're all in and around the box. Rose have got everyone back there. Saunders crosses deep. Dean's trying to meet you, but Jones has met it. Comes forward to Forshaw. Forshaw drives it back in, but it's always flying wide and high and over. And that, when it finally comes back, will be a goal kick to Rovers, which Sullivan will take. The ball boys now not giving the ball to Sullivan, they're throwing it to the Brentford players, who are then setting it for Sullivan. Sullivan's just gesturing to referee as if to say, well, that takes more time because that's not where I want to set it. And Sullivan will, I think that's trick number 17 from the Neil Sullivan playbook of killing time before a restart that he's just played there. But he has got it forward, and Painter's won a header out to Cotterill over on the right hand side. Painter's still lied on the floor at the moment on top of a Brentford player. Two of them are just rolling around and finally have picked themselves up. It'll be a Rovers throwing on that side as Painter trots to the middle, and Quinn will take it midway inside the Brentford half. Cotterill's over there for him. Brown's drifted over that side. Painter stayed in the middle. Cotterill's looking towards the feet of Brown if he can. Then it's gone to the chest of Brown. Brown chests it twice to keep it in possession. Just about turns away from Deruga and then comes back to Quinn to cross. Painter's in there. Can't quite get around Dean, who wins the header, and he heads clear. And it's Wright Phillips who's back there under it and just gets a long high hoof up front. It's only not even reached the centre circle, and Keegan's underneath it to head clear. Comes back to Phillips, and this time he tries an overhead kick forward, and this time reaches Keegan again, and Keegan just turns one way then the other, tries to dink it towards Cotterill beyond him but can't, and Forshaw's across to calm things down and bring things forward and restart things for Brentford as Dean, the centre half, crosses halfway with it. Donaldson's looking for the ball in the channel. Dean instead will go inside to Forshaw again. Bidwell's pulled up just to the left hand side, the left full-back, and that's where Brentford are trying to work it slowly through O'Connor and Duraga. Here is Bidov, he's back on halfway now as he dinks the ball into the channel towards Trotter. Quinn reads it. Quinn heads down to Cotterill. Cotterill inside to Furman, and Furman puts it long and high into the channel for Painter to chase. Painter can't get it, and as that goes out of play, it's almost caught by what looks to be a Rovers sub getting to come on. I think it's David Sayers. It is David Sayers, and it's David Sayers on for Chris Brown. Make of that what you will. I don't think any of us expected that to be the number that was held up for David Sayers.
Well, I don't know, because he's been last 5 minutes, so since that throw-in where he seemed to acknowledge the fact that he was elbowed, he seemed a bit sluggish and a bit slow, so maybe it's leave Painter up there, and I think Sayers will probably get back and forward a lot more, his energy as well in the field to just link up if he can get a break.
See where Sayers goes.
But also, it looks like he's played there a couple of times just off the strike, and he does a good job there, so let's hope for the best. And
that is exactly where he's trotted to as Chris has been talking, and that throwing by Quinn is headed out again to be another throw to Rovers, just slightly nearer to the Brentford goal towards the edge of their box. But yeah, Sayers has trotted towards the front line, playing off Painter as Chris suggested, and that looks how he's lined up at the moment as Rovers try and work the ball forward through Painter in the corner. Painter just trying to get him better. He made Duraga keep that in play actually. He's tried to tackle him with his head, which he just about has done so, but he's cannoned off his head and hit him on the arm, and it's a free kick to Brentford. Cotterill standing in front of him, and Duraga tries to pull him away, and that's a yellow card for Cotterill for wasting time. Very soft yellow card for Cotterill there as he stood over things and kicked the ball away. Obvious yellow card, but it's delayed a minute or two, but I don't imagine Michael Evans is the sort of referee who's going to forget to add that minute on, so it's not really achieved much for Rovers other than got another man in the book for them. So is that 3 cautions from either team now, or 2? No, it's 4 from Rovers and 2 from Brentford, isn't it? Yeah. Cotterill joining Quinn, McComb and the already substituted Lundstrom in the book for Rovers as we come into the final 7 minutes here at Griffin Park. Brent Rovers trying to get things forward, but the flag's gone off for offside. Free kick taken by Forshaw quickly across to Dean, and Brentford are pushing men forward now as Dean looks to go long towards Donaldson. It's over here, and Jones will see it and read it and head it clear again as the sun comes out here at Griffin Park. Someone right in Jones's eyes as it came out then, just on the header, but he's read it well and headed it. Brentford coming back forward, but Trotter can't get it under control, and Quinn gets it forward. Sayers chests it down for Painter. Painter feeds it out to Sayers now on the right hand side. Rovers coming forward. There's no one in the middle for Sayers until Painter gets there. Coppinger's making a slow movement forward from the left. Sayers tries to dink it into. It's not a bad little ball into the middle there from Sayers. Tried to weight it in the air for Painter to and onto, and it wasn't probably rightly weighted, but Painter hadn't really committed himself to going after it, and in the end Moore's come out, collected it, put a kick downfield, and that's going out of play for the Rovers throw-in.
Yeah, interesting as well there is Sayers was the furthest man on then for Rovers, so he certainly is playing off of Painter on that occasion, obviously gone beyond him, but as you say, it's just Painter not reading the ball, because in the end it's a really good knock inside, but to be fair, I don't think anybody expected that to happen from Sayers.
So Rovers then coming forward, and the noise you can hear in the background as Rovers do come forward as Sayers puts the pressure on O'Connor, and then Bidwell is the Rovers fans who in full voice as Danny was talking there, all both the upper and lower tiers of that stand on their feet, making noise for the Rovers as they try to get behind their team and will them in these last 5 minutes towards the very end of the League One season. It is still Brentford 0, Doncaster Rovers 0 here at Griffin Park. That's the score that matters. Well, that happens with Bournemouth's game. It doesn't really matter to anyone here until this game's done and dusted. That's the key thing, and it's closing out now. But imagine there'll be a good few minutes of injury time to follow these 5 minutes as we go into them, and it's still 0. As Cotterill chases down a clearance to Bidwell, and it's stayed in play, and Cotterill run onto that on the far side, on the touchline, looking inside the box. Painter's arriving late across the far side. It is towards Painter, but he can't quite get there, and Dean's read it, got a toe in and knocked it out for the Rovers throw-in. The right idea from Cotterill there, just to carry it forward and try and get the low ball across the face of goal, but in doing that, Painter was never going to reach it. And it's just almost got it bang on there, but just Dean read it, got a toe on it, and it'll be a Rovers throw-in, which Coppinger's come all the way over to take. I don't know how Coppinger's going to aim this to anyone, because he ain't going to reach anyone. There's no one within 20 yards of him. Well, Painter's making a slow amble towards him now, and it is Painter who will get it and try and keep it up. It's taken off him by Adeyemi though, and there's Saunders and Dean. If he can get it away from Sayers, Brentford will clear. Dean does do that, gets it down the right hand channel towards Donaldson just inside the Rovers half. Furman and Jones between them do enough to win it off him. Here's Painter, tries to go outside to Coppinger. Dean's come to him quickly, but Painter's got a chance to win it again. Unfortunately though, his ball out to Spur is read by Donaldson, and Spur chasing down Adeyemi's ball there, but blocked it, and he can just block it with his hand. And it's a free kick to Brentford, about 12 or 13 minutes, 12 to 13 yards inside their half on the right touchline. Moore, the keeper, takes it and takes it quickly, long towards the middle. There's only 3 Rovers players under that, and it's Furman who wins it. Sayers does well to get the flick on, and Coppinger's away down this left. If Payton can feed him, and he does. Coppinger now coming down the left. Cotterill's attacking the right. Coppinger onto towards the corner of the box. Brentford getting man back. Coppinger puts onto his right, stumbles, goes back towards his left, drives it low across the face of goal. Painter's there, and it's just wide. Just wide on the far side as Coppinger just shaped inside. Looked like the chance had gone when he lost his foot. He got back onto his left, drove it low across the face. It was beyond Cotterill and Sayers, and Painter it was coming in on the far side who hit it first time, and it's wide on the near post as Painter looked of Moore's left post. It's gone behind, and a chance there for Rovers to put it to bed.
Yeah, and it's hit the netting, which has almost got me on my feet here in the press box. But I don't know. I think it might have been quite a tight angle anyway for Painter. But
it was certainly that, yeah.
Certainly, since them two have come on, Sayers and Painter, Rovers have. I mean, it's gone with the play as well, but Rovers have had more chances and looking more threatening on the counter attack.
Well, Brentford pushing people forward. They've changed their formation as well, and that's giving that little bit of space for Rovers as they break. You know, Brentford, they have to get a win here, so they're going to commit people now, and as they do so, Rovers will have the chance to break, and they almost got a chance there as Coppinger's ball forward, but Painter's long offside. The sun's back out here at Griffin Park, and it is beaten right into the eyes of the Rovers back line, and Sullivan a couple of times now the ball forward. We've seen players shielding their eyes as they look to meet it, and that's exactly what Keegan's done as he tries to meet this one, but Adeyemi wins it. Forshaw flicks on, tries to lay it off for him, manages to keep control as Keegan has a few bites at him, but Trotter just about keeps it in control and goes back to Adeyemi. Diarraga it is over on that side, over towards Bridwell back towards Wright Phillips just cutting inside, looking to get the ball into the box, in towards 6-yard box. Donaldson's jumped up there and challenged on Sullivan. Sullivan's kept it and collapsed it and gone down.
And that's what's thrown at him again.
And Sullivan might stay for a few minutes down here. Could be a yellow card here for someone, I don't know who, because Sullivan's quite clearly feeling a knock there, and a few things from the Brentford fans behind that goal.
Did Donaldson get booked earlier?
No, it was Phillips.
No, Wright Phillips who's gone in the books. Here's a yellow card for Donaldson for the foul on Sullivan. Sullivan could do with some treatment here, but the referee doesn't seem in any rush. I think it'd be a case of the boy who's cried wolf here for Sullivan, because he's milked that much time. The referee doesn't seem to want to believe that he's actually picked up a knock from Donaldson, but the yellow card's been issued.
That's what I mean, it's an odd one. He's booked the player, which means he feels like the player's gone in to get the player, and he's also said, nah, you're not hurt, you're wasting time. I think the booking may have been because Donaldson jumped in on him earlier as well, and left, not too bad.
Yeah, it could be an accumulation, actually, you're right. Sorry, I was laughing there because Sullivan came out to put the ball down further away from his goal. Referee sent him back, and Sullivan sort of doddered towards his goal line like a man escaping the trenches at the point there. But he's got back, taken the free kick, and ball's back in play just about as McComb goes down the line towards Bridwell. Bridwell wins the header, tries to get it forward. Saunders wins the flick on, but Jones is under it and just swipes at it and gets it as clear as he can towards Painter. Painter wins the flick on tellingly on halfway, and now Coppinger's got space over on the left to run into. Coppinger's heading towards the corner flag, and probably rightly so, because there's only Painter in there. Symes has trotted forward now. Coppinger thinks about a cross, looks back, there isn't anything going. He's took on the sideline between two Brentford players. It's got to be a Rovers throw. Linesman's giving it Rovers throw. Referee's giving it Brentford's way instead though. Bit of a debate there. Coppinger's trying to get the ball off O'Connor take the throw in, but O'Connor's too busy trying to take the throw in. Here's a Brentford throw, and they have taken it towards Diarraga. The board's gone up on the far side, and we've got 5 minutes of injury time to play here. 5 minutes of injury time to play. here at Griffin Park as Rovers come forward once again. So relax yourselves, steady yourselves. There's still 5 more minutes of football here at Griffin Park, and it's Rovers with it at the moment, with Painter trying to get away from his man in the corner, which he does so. Cotterill's over there as well. Cotterill's gone towards the corner flag. We ain't going to keep it there for 5 minutes, and he's crossed inside. He's intercepted by Dean, and now Brentford will try and carry it forward and break through Saunders. His touch is heavy, gives Furman a chance to get in front of him. Furman takes off his toe, and now Rovers can break. Here's Painter over towards Coppinger on the left hand side. Coppinger in well inside the Brentford half, towards the edge of the box in fact, and he goes towards the left hand corner flag, tries to go back inside of Adeyemi, plays it off him, gets a throw in, and I don't think any Rovers player is going to make any real effort to come over and take this throw in.
No, just making sure he did win the throw in this time, as well, the referee pointed one way, but the linesman did agree on this occasion, and Rovers do get a throw. But I should say, no, I think it's Coppinger taking it.
It's Coppinger taking it, yeah. Coppinger into Size. Size trying to hold it up in the box, just about does so, as behind him the Rovers fans bounce up and down on their feet in that terrace, sensing that things are getting close for them. Coppinger and Size still with it in the corner. Adeyemi's taking it off the toe now and got it clear. Keegan wins the challenge. I thought he'd won it fairly cleanly. The referee's decided it's a foul, and about 2 or 3 yards outside the box. That'll be a free kick to Brentford, which Moore will take it. Brentford will throw. They've only got the front three up there, and that's what's agitating the fans around us, because they haven't really thrown anyone else beyond those front three forward to meet this kick. Moore's kick is high and hanging. Donaldson gets out to meet it and flick it, but Rovers deal with it, and Keegan feeds Cotterill. Now Cotterill's got lots of space on the right. Gets past halfway, puts it beyond Bridwell and tries to cut inside him. He probably hasn't got quite the pace he thought he had on Bridwell to get there, and the fullback does well to read it and go back towards his keeper Moore. Moore to the feet of Forshaw. Forshaw stood straight in the pressure early by Furman. Furman had made his mind up what he was doing there, and nothing was going to stop him committing to try and win that ball, regardless of whether the ball was there or not. So it's a foul by Furman. Moore, the keeper, will take it and deliver it long towards Donaldson, but it's hung up again. It's really hanging. Donaldson just about wins it over Coppinger, flicked on by Saunders, and it's Jones this time to us in his cross. His clearance is high and long, and Painter might beat Moore to that. He's got on the end of it, Painter, and it's a goal kick. Painter just jumping up there with the keeper just outside the Brentford box. Painter just about beating him to it, but it's cannoned off Painter and gone behind, and that'll be a goal kick to Moore in front of the Rovers fans. And I make it that we've got another 3 minutes of this stoppage time to go. 2.5 minutes of stoppage time. Chris is pointing at a clock, which is good timing. So 2.5 minutes of stoppage time to go here at Griffin Park, and it's still Brentford 0, Rovers 0. Brentford trying to get it into the box, but again Rovers to clear the lines through Jones and then Coppinger, and Coppinger gets it clear all the way back to Moore, the keeper. Dean, the centre half of Brentford, is now playing as a fourth striker for them, although he's right out on the right wing, and it's the other centre half, O'Connor, who tries to find him with a long ball. He's up with Spur, wins it, gets it down into the box where Donaldson is. Appeal for a handball there against someone, we couldn't see who. Donaldson tries to wicket in. Dean's there trying to hold it up, keeps up in the air, high boot and a challenge as appeals, and it's a penalty. Referee has given a penalty, but a high boot in the Rovers penalty area by McComb. I think it is a penalty to Brentford. 2 minutes of added time to go, if that.
A minute.
Just over a minute of added time, and the referee's pointed to the spot, and that is a penalty to Brentford. Spear is on the floor, dumbfounded by it. Rovers ball was just bouncing around in the box for a long time there as people tried to hook it clear, get a toe under or something. In the end, someone's put a boot up there. We think it's McComb. He's caught the Brentford man. He's gone down, and the referee Michael Oliver's pointed to the spot for the penalty. By the letter of the law, it's exactly what it is, but it's a harsh one to face because there was all manner of legs and arms and everything bouncing around. Now we'll try and see what happens here. Debate over who's going to take it as Sullivan goes back to his line. The people around me, everyone in this stand is on their feet, including most of the press box as well. Hopefully you're able to see how it pans out. It's going to be Trotter who puts the ball down, and there's barely a minute to play once things get underway again. Everyone's standing, we can't quite see. I can't stand, so hopefully no one will. So it's a penalty to Brentford in the last minute of injury time here. Effectively, if Brentford score this, they will take the last promotion spot off Rovers. So it's Trotter who's getting ready to take it. I think Sullivan might have been booked there for God knows what as he gets back to his line. Still arguing over who's going to take this, Brentford. O'Connor's coming in to tell us, Donaldson's sulking and looking to the sideline. Rossler's giving instructions. They're all arguing, but it's Trotter who's lining up to take it, and Sullivan stands on his line. So Trotter puts it down to take it left-footed. Drives up to hit it. Does so. It's off the ball. Taken away. He's missed it. He's missed the penalty. It's away. They've cleared it. They can't get it back in the box. They're trying to dribble it forward, and Rovers have cleared their lines. Trotters' penalty is wasted, and now Painter's away. He's crossing halfway. He's got Akers to run into. He's all alone. Tries to Coppinger. Coppinger will slot it home, and he does so. Coppinger just turned it into the empty net. It's promotion to Doncaster Rovers. Can you believe what's happened in this last minute here? A wasted penalty from Trotter. It's off the bar. Rovers have broken clear through Painter, and Copper just turned it away. And it is absolute bedlam to our left here at Brentford. The Rovers players are in amongst the fans at that end. Brentford are on to a man on the floor. Full-time whistle hasn't sounded yet. Full-time whistle has not sounded yet. And everyone is on the floor. Sullivan's on halfway celebrating. There's a flare being let off in the Rovers end, and I still don't think we've had full time.
No, I'm also going to get Chris to check what Bournemouth are doing and see if we may potentially be champions. And I'll just let you have a minute if you want, and then I'll take over for you. Yeah. But Doncaster Rovers have gone from the agony of a penalty to ecstasy of, well, promotion unless Brentford scored 2 in about 20 seconds.
Having come here on the back foot, Rovers look like they might have actually taken the League One title. What an incredible finish to this game. We're waiting for Michael Oliver to blow his whistle, but everyone, he does blow his whistle. Brentford right forward. There's still about 30 seconds to play here if they can, or 20 seconds. He hasn't. The final whistle goes, and that's it. Doncaster Rovers, in the most dramatic circumstances, have wrapped up promotion to the Championship. The referees run from the field, the police were on. There's no reason for them. The supporters aren't going anywhere, and Rovers are celebrating. Sullivan celebrates towards Chris Donald in the press box. He's disappearing because he's got a job to do down there. He goes on, but Rovers will celebrate, and they'll celebrate loudly at this end. The Brentford players too are dejected out on that field. They're on their knees, they're on the sat down on their backsides, head in hands. Brentford with the goal gaping for them, promotion gaping for them. All Trotter had to do was tuck away a penalty with 30 seconds left to do so. He's gone for power, he's rattled it on the bar. Rovers have stuffed it clear, and then they've broken.
How do you feel?
I can't talk, I can't believe it. I've never felt so disappointed and then happy in the same minute. Unbelievable, best feeling in my life.
What were you feeling like that moment then, just when it hit the bar?
Relief. I stood there thinking, that's it. And I just can't describe it. This is just brilliant, unbelievable. Like I say, it's the best feeling I've ever had in football. I can't describe it.
How do you feel?
Wonderful. 4 promotions in 9 years and only 1 relegation. It's great to win the league as well. To get one of those gold medals for our players is fantastic. They worked the guts out today, and I thought we were going to be robbed right at the end. But I didn't see why he gave a penalty. But anyway, there we go. We had a bit of luck for once.
Had to finish on an away win though, didn't it?
Well, 20. I think that's 15 away wins. Any team that does that deserves to get promotion. And I think overall we've been the best team in the league.
First taste of first team football, and this happened. How do you feel?
Couldn't come out any better. I couldn't have asked for a better club, better bunch of lads. Couldn't ask for any more. They've warmed to me, they've supported me, I've had loads of messages on Twitter. The brilliant look of them, still here.
And that 10 seconds there, what went through your mind?
Oh, 1 minute I was thinking that we would have to go to the playoffs and we'd have another month in. The next minute of the other end, you can't write it. It's just phenomenal.
Many congratulations. Have you ever experienced a minute's worth of football quite like that?
So close, wasn't it? So close, and yet all credit to the lads. It was a monumental effort, and Brentford are a good side, really tested us to the limit, and thankfully it came right in the end.
Did you think that the chance had gone right at the day?
Well, you've got to believe that, haven't you? A penalty in extra time. You know, I think it was the second or third minute of extra time we get a penalty, and you fear for the worst, but thankfully it's turned out brilliant, and young James has got the goal. It's taken us up. Great for him. Great for James Coppenjoe, who's been a big part of this club.
Seems fitting because he's been here for such a long time.
Yeah, very much so. Delighted. Yeah, he nearly miscontrolled it as well, didn't he? But it was a beautiful game, this, and crazy at times.
It's been a situation where you've gone up as champions to get that little bit of extra crowning glory right at the end because of Bournemouth dropping points at Tranmere. That just must mean so much more.
Well, to go up as champions, to be promoted is a big thing, but to go up as number one, that's what the chairman wanted, and thankfully we've given it to him.
What's it meant to you and the players to celebrate in front of 1,800 there? All the shirts are flying off into the stand. You've got drenched. What's that all been like?
We've got to enjoy the moment, I must admit. Enjoy what's happened and then build on this for next season. That's the important thing, and I'm sure it will be done.
It's going to be hard to improve on the memory of today, isn't it? That's a career-defining one for a lot of people.
And to come back from relegation and nearly disaster last year, because every relegation is a disaster, and it could have been difficult, but all credit to Dean Saunders, Brian Carey and the staff. We've built a really good squad between us. We've built a really good squad, and that showed today.
Are you ready for the championship ride with this team next year?
I am, but my contract finishes tomorrow.
You're banging on the chairman's door.
If I could find him.
How does it feel to be in the championship again?
Well, for me personally, as a manager, I've never been there. But that's I've managed international football, which is obviously elite football, but something I will relish doing that.
And how nervy an ending was that for you today? How incredible was it?
Crazy. Probably one word that describes that. Last minute, crazy. But that's the way football is. Sometimes the unexpected can happen, and it most certainly happened today.
What did you say to them at half time? Because it was a bit of a sort of drab affair in the first half.
Well, it was frantic and frenzy, wasn't it? 100 miles an hour, and because of the occasion, but we battled through and it got right in the end.
They hit the post in the first half. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was a flick on, and he's dangerous. Bradley like Phillips, he's dangerous, and that was a little bit of a luck we had in the first half. Obviously, the massive stroke of luck was the penalty.
What does this mean to the club?
Very big, very big. Not only financially, but the rewards that it can give and the profile it'll give the club after last season.
Turning things around after relegation, as you say, just talk about that.
Well, it was a building job to be done to rebuild the squad. I think there was only 7 or 8 players that were under contract for this season, and that's what we did. And thankfully, the recruitment policy was excellent.
And the league itself was incredibly tough throughout and incredibly competitive, wasn't it?
Well, it's all credit to the league because it's been so tight, and it went down to the last game here, and that's all credit to the teams in the division.
So, what were your thoughts on the penalty itself today? Do you think that was the right decision?
The referee seemed certain about it. There was a lot of people in the box. I couldn't give a real judgment on it now. I've got to be honest. I couldn't say to you yes it was, no it wasn't, because it was just a blur at that moment.
When it was given, what were your thoughts, and what were you discussing with your colleagues in the technical area?
Here comes the playoffs.
Really?
As simple as that. Here we go to the playoffs. And then within a minute we champions. That's just, can't write a story like that, can you?
It's incredible, isn't it?
It is, very much so.
And what now? You're going to go see the chairman for some funds for next?
Well, don't worry about me. It's all about the players today. That's for certain.
And the fans were terrific today.
Oh yeah, they kept us going and kept them for James Coppenjoe to get the goal, for all the service that he's given to the club. It was fantastic for him.
Great. Wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you.
What's the defining characteristic of this team? That's
never say die, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that typifies it to
Which
the very
was
end.
almost typified by today's performance.
Yeah, never say die, never give up. Always believe that you can get something out of a game.
Yeah. Where does this rank among your
the best
achievements?
The best, by far the best, by a long way. I've had some good cup runs, some good cup victories, but this is over a period of time, and to get it and to go and win it as well, the championship is the best.
Yeah, great stuff.
You've seen some things in football, Brian. I mean, where is this one? I mean, this was
the best.
Man United scored twice to win the European Cup this day. It's one of those sort of things.
It's a defining moment, isn't it? And we can use this now to accelerate on and push on. I'm sure the club will, without a doubt.
Is it a funny one for yourself? It's obviously your position out.
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know the question. I was asked it a couple of weeks ago, and my answer was, look, after it's all finished, then we'll sit down and talk and see where we come from. It wasn't about me. It was about achieving what the club wanted. Yeah. That's the important thing.
Well, you'd love the job and love to sort of...
Who wouldn't want to manage in the championship? Of course.
Yeah.
You kept things going, didn't you, when you took over? You didn't change much.
Experience. Basically, just use the experience that we've had in football, in football management, and that's what we did.
And you just sort of kept things going, even though the league was that competitive.
Yeah, because as I've said many times, I'd seen all the teams in the division prior to coming in, so I knew that on our day we were the best team in the division, and I kept saying it, and it's proved right now.
about the goal, etc. But this part of it, how does this feel being here today?
Oh, this is brilliant. This is what it's all about for me. We go into a room every day and see the promotion when they got promoted to League Two, all the pictures and everything. And you always thought that it could come down to this celebrations. It's what everybody deserves. And great turnout, and I'm so pleased with that.
How much more does it mean to yourself and the players to be doing this today, but not as League One runners up, as League One champions?
It's a big difference. Obviously, we just wanted to get promoted, but at the end of the day, it doesn't come along very often, and to be champions and to go up in the way that happened is super.
Holding the ball of champagne, that must be a fantastic feeling. When that champagne gets pop, and all the lads are jumping about, that must be a brilliant feeling.
No, that's what we well. That's what obviously we play the season for days like this. They don't come around very often, and to go up as champions, I mean, it's fantastic. Obviously, from getting relegated, to bounce back and to do it in the manner that we did is super.
I mean, you've been here for such a long time. It must be extra special for you winning the league championship in what's going to be your testimonial.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously fantastic to be here and to go up as champions, like they keep saying. It's superb, and the fans, the players, everybody concerned with Doncaster deserve it.
Thank you, Pat. So go and enjoy yourself now.
Cheers.
What a fantastic feeling this must be.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's been non-stop since Saturday. It must have been 5:10. It's just been a constant high, you know, one thing after another. Great celebrations, great to see everybody here, and it's just a brilliant feeling. You know, the lads are over the moon.
Second time you've been at the club, second promotion you've won as well, and scoring goals as well. That must have been a fantastic way to end the season.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You know, the chairman always says, you know, I've already had one medal, can you get another? And to get the second championship winners medal, it's brilliant, you know. And we've got to go again next season, but we'll enjoy it first.
I mean, the lads are in fantastic spirit. They're all gathered around behind you. They're having a good time. What's going to happen now? What are you going to go away for a holiday and relax and try and prepare for next season?
Yeah, I'll have a couple of weeks off, you know, just to recuperate and stuff, and then we'll get back in the gym, just keep it on top of everything, and then the longer the summer goes, then the more I'll do.
The fans have turned out in numbers today. They've been fantastic, singing every time that goal goes in. It's being played out on the PA system. The cheer, it's like it's happening all over again.
Yeah, and I heard it before when I was in the tunnel, and I still get goosebumps. You know, every time I see it, every time I see the incident, it's just one of them things you could never write.
Fantastic. Go and enjoy yourself now. I'm sure you will. Well, Rob, how did that feel, lifting the trophy as captain as Doncaster Rovers and champions of League One?
Oh, it's incredible. We've worked so hard all season to get to where we are today. There was times where a lot of people had their doubts, but we never did. We never wavered for what the main aim and the main task was. A lot of people who are not here today, we have to say a big thank you to Dean Saunders and Brian Carey. They created this team. All we did was carry on what they started. I wish him all the best for the weekend. Hope he keeps them up. But today is about us, about them. And we came in the season a bit of a downer really, but no, we're on top of the world right now.
I mean, what went through your mind when that penalty decision was given, and then within 20 seconds, I think it was called the craziest 20 seconds in football history?
Yeah. No, the emotions are incredible. You've done so well for 93.5 minutes. Give a penalty away from home, you think, oh, I've said it all along. I had a feeling that he was going to miss it. But you don't expect him to miss a penalty, then you run down the other end, score to win the championship. So no, I don't think it'll ever be seen ever again. Scenes like that are incredible.
It's that never say die attitude again, isn't it? If it was going to be one, it was going to be like that.
We've done it so many times this year. We've nicked points where we shouldn't have. We've won games where really the clock's against us. It just encapsulates the spirit we have in the dressing room. They're all good guys, and they all deserve everything they get.
And they have all turned out in number, the fans. Like you said, it is their day. The players are having a good time as well. It's fantastic for Doncaster today.
Of course it is. We're a family club, and we're all together. We all come here for one aim. And one aim is for success. And thankfully we've got success this year. They've played their part, a massive part this season, home and away. And all the players have a massive respect for that.
I'm good to This is Rob with hair.
It's no good, this is it, would be.
Yeah, well done, mate. Really happy.